wrapped around your soul with no control. You can't breathe when you're drowning underwater. There's so much water. I'll run, I'll hide. Darkness always clouds my mind. When I look behind, it's moving closer every time. I can't pretend that I have a strong defense. 'Cause darkness, my old friend, you will get me in the end. At the end. Can you feel it wrapped around your soul with no control? You can't breathe when you're drowning underwater. There's so much water. I can't pretend that I have a strong defense. 'Cause darkness, my old friend, you will get me in the end.
What's going on, folks? Will Stewart here with another THFC Rants. Today we won. That's a good thing. Although, to be honest with you, I don't know if I'm sick, allergies, or what, but I don't have the joy deep down in my heart right now. But I have three gentlemen waiting backstage who probably do, and maybe they'll be able to help me out and shake me out of my slump. But the first guy here is someone that we know very well, and we've got him here on the remix.
Daniel Levy, if you are watching, you're a bald-headed.
Here for the remix, we got Brian Daigle. What's going on, my man?
All good, mate. All good. And do you know what? My favourite thing is loving getting on at the first or within the first few that come on, so I get my introduction because I keep testing you on them, and that goes right to the top of the pile, my friend. That is, I'm feeling good. Like I said, I had my COVID shot yesterday, so I'm a bit battered. But yeah, here to help you out, mate, and looking forward to it.
Yeah, the remix.
Daniel Levy, if you
Also, we have
Cody Mac did it. Cody Mac did it. Cody Mac.
it's Frozen.
Oh man, how we doing, boys?
We're doing
All the
good.
best
We're
to
doing
you,
good. I'm doing
Cody,
good.
man. I keep saying I don't see you for 2 days on the stream. I start getting the shakes. I get withdrawal from Cody.
You know
Cody
what?
Mac withdrawals.
I would have picked a W out of needle disposal today. I don't care how we did it. 3 points. That's what I'm going to talk about right there.
Correct. Positivity today.
And we also have our favorite man of mystery here, who I don't have a meme soundboard yet. Maybe he can help us remedy that. Mr. K.
Evening, fellas. Evening.
What's up,
I'm
Mr.
in a
K?
good mood. I'm in a good mood. And it's been a while. I see smiles everywhere. Look, Cody smiling, Will smiling, Brian smiling.
You know
What's going
what?
on, boys?
It's only Wednesday. It feels like this week has been like 10 days long already. Just, man, can't believe we still have a cup final to live through, endure, look forward to, whatever, however you want to look at it. But, man, just been one crazy, long, emotional week.
And we've got Rootin', Shootin', Tootin', Pootin'. Staying up with us late tonight, asking if he could super chat. Not yet, but what you can do is share this stream out or share the channel out. Right? You can go to the main channel page. And you can click share and share the channel out to your friends. And once we get to 1,000 subscribers, you can super chat to your heart's content. We're almost there, or we're almost halfway there. We're at 411 last time I checked. Could be different now.
Just congrats, bro. I'm just looking at it now. You're that's grown dramatically in the last week or so, mate. Well done.
Since Friday. It was like 200 something last Friday.
Yeah, for the last week, I think I've done like 110.
I think it was
Yeah.
that new segment that you did with that guy with the really nice hair.
It could be. Could be. I think I
Bit of
still have.
self-PR there.
I think I still have the branding up for that. Maybe not. Yeah. Let me see. We'll throw it up there. We'll do a plug. We'll be doing. I don't know, Cody. When do you want to do episode 2 of that show?
It's your channel.
Whatever you like, my friend. I was kind of thinking that maybe I might make it the new pre-match show instead of doing like a 3-hour stream the night before, because usually the night before the match stream isn't. None of them have been failures or anywhere close, but usually the pre-match one isn't as hopping as the post-match one, or the midweek one that I do in between. If it's not a week like this week where there's like 300 matches in a week. So maybe we'll kind of make that our pre-match. We'll go like maybe the Friday afternoon before, or because before the 2 Brian show rather than after it. So Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whenever you're available. So.
We'll cut that 2 Brian show off right at the neck. Like kill him off, kill him off.
Do you know what it was, Cody? I was just about to say. Do you know how nice it was to see Cody actually take a sip of his wine and go, and actually enjoy it? It's like for the last week or so, just like, just give it to me, and that was just like a lovely, leisurely. This is the good days. But yeah, it'll be great. I mean, the great thing with all of us in this YouTube family is that Fridays are being like jam packed. Hopefully, you'll be doing your pre-show. You have the David Irish Kid fan show.
Oh, that's
and
right.
then the 2 Brians. It's like you've got a Friday full of the great YouTube.
I don't know if there's much going on Fridays around the time we do it, Cody, which is usually 1:30 p.m. Eastern time, right during the kids' nap time and before my kids get home from school.
Yeah, that could work just because that would be an opportunity to to catch some of the UK audience as well, right? So
Yeah, grab some of the UK guys, let them be able to participate in the show without having to stay up till 4 o'clock in the morning. Sorry about that, Mr. K. Or whatever. I mean, heck, we could do it every day if we wanted to, but it's up to you.
I think your two Brian show. Sorry, the baldy and the bearded, right? Yeah.
Yeah, this one here.
I think you guys have got something. You just need to fill it with some content which is off scripts or off book. Things that other people don't cover. There's so much content for Tottenham. History, stats, you name it. And I think a lot of it doesn't get covered. An awful lot of current affair gets covered, like things happening right now, but not enough about nostalgia, things from the past, maybe, or things sideways. I think you two guys could really cover that because you've got that sort of bridge between North America and Europe and the rest of the world. So you're getting a lot of people coming in which are fans of Spurs and only recently fans, like maybe 5 years or 3 years or 7 years, things like that. And when you talk to people from London or from UK, they've got a lot of knowledge on the history and so forth about Spurs, whereas the rest of the community around the world, they don't have as much. So maybe you could fill that bit in.
That's funny that you should mention that because I just so happen to have ordered a book about the history of Tottenham Hotspur, and it's sitting in my mailbox waiting for me to pick up. So that is not a bad
Mac's specialty.
That's a good shout.
It is. I'll tell you another thing that would be good for that kind of time slot as well is, like on the first two Brians, we did a little thing because it was Teddy Sheringham's birthday. If you just check your Google Calendar to see if it's anyone's birthday or check on the times you go live, what great results did we have back in the day? It could be Premier League, it could be earlier. And like have if we sign players like on this day, this happened in Tottenham. You could get, there's a lot of, because I don't think anyone's actually doing that.
Very
few. The kind of the original gift was just to kind of be a little comedy, but we can interlock the two together, Cody can ask me questions and I can say,
so click Google instead of make stupid questions.
And
Or do you know what? You could have the bald and the bearded forfeits show, like me and Brian, and see who does the craziest forfeits.
Yeah, we'll figure. We'll that show's kind of flexible. We'll do whatever we got, but
just realized
it just happened to start. So I messaged Cody for all this ESL bullcrap jumps off, and I'm like, "Hey man, we gotta do something." He's like, "Yeah, okay." And so I had it. I did the thumbnail for it, scheduled the show, and it was like that same day almost, right? That noise dropped, right? And it was the exact same day. It was the night. Yep. It was like the night before. But got a few more people. Where did the bun go? He was here and disappeared. Alex disappeared too. They must be having internet problems or something. But we've got Abdul.
What's going on,
house.
What's up, Abdul, my man? How are you?
Doing good, man.
Are you here, my man? Internesh, I want to hear from you tonight.
Yeah,
you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Feels great watching your team win. It's been a while.
I have to say, I fell asleep.
Can you tweak Inatesh? Can you tweak how do you pronounce his name, man? Can you tweak his volume just a little bit higher because he's a little bit low, and I don't want him being left out when it comes to the chat.
Yeah, you gotta jump it. You gotta turn your mic up. Go to edit mic settings. In the settings, there's like a little gear picture there. Internet. It's because you're muted right now. I can't touch it. But go ahead and crank yourself up there. You can unclick auto volume. Sometimes if you have a low signal, you can unclick auto volume and scroll that all the way up to 200, and it's a lot easier to hear. I tend to do that sometimes with quiet people.
Really? I never know you can do that. Let me do that too.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah. And we've got the bun.
Let me just do 150. I feel like 200 may be a little bit too much.
Hello, guys.
What's up, Danny?
I can't fucking sleep, mate. That's what's up.
That's a good shot of the bun, though, my man.
I thought I'd do that today because I can't be asked on camera because I'm lying in bed. And I want
to 150 is good.
Do you lovely fellas?
Yes. Do 110.
I think that
110. Yeah, 110.
If you're in bed, I don't think the bun is the bun anymore, is it?
It's a squish bun
Too
tonight.
automatically. No fucking.
A little bit louder, Abdul. Probably like 150 is good, probably. Trust me, once everybody gets rolling, it's going to be helpful. And then also waiting back there,
Yeah, you're
we
right.
have
I'm telling you, bros.
Marcelo.
Oh, look who it is, the man himself.
Tonight's the remix show.
The
We're
Brazilian
getting every
family.
remix out.
I'm gonna have to watch out what I say from here on now.
The myth, the legend. Marcelo.
What's up, Mr. K? What's up?
Cody, Cody, Mac,
I love that one.
How you doing, Marcelo?
How are we doing, Brian? How are we doing?
All good, my man. All good. It's all sparked. Do you know what? It's like we don't know what to talk about. Everyone is so positive and happy. It's like, what are we going to talk about?
We're stumped. We're stumped.
Yeah, right? How about that game, huh? We finally playing some attacking football. That felt
The
nice.
second half was good. Tottenham had a great second half performance. I'll give him that.
That's the best
Yeah.
second half I've seen all season.
That's
Yeah.
only the second time since the turn of the new year that Tottenham have scored in the last 20 minutes of a Premier League game.
Yep.
That's 19 games, and we've only scored. That was our second goal in the last 20 minutes. It's absolutely insane. But
That's the
What was our
first
first
game we
one?
won as well from
The first-
coming 1-0 down, isn't it?
the first of the two was Crystal Palace. It was the fourth goal against Palace, so a completely meaningless
Oh.
goal.
Okay.
But
okay.
it was just nice not to fucking bottle it for once, because really we've just been bombarded with these like late collapses for the majority of the year, and it was just nice not to like shrink into our little Tottenham shell like we have been all season, trying to protect 1-goal leads, or even in the Manchester United game, subbing on Sissoko and just not going for it. And finally, we just went for it. And of course, it didn't hurt that we were playing, basically the worst team in football for the last 3 months. But yeah, it's just a relief. I think
To
that's
be fair,
that's
though,
we're all-
to be fair, though, I know like people are saying Southampton is a bad team, but like they are still better than Fulham. They're still better than Brighton. They're still better
what,
than
Marcelo?
all those other teams. And when we play those other teams with Mourinho, we looked absolutely like we didn't even belong there. I guarantee you, if that was Mourinho in that pitch, we would have lost that game, or at most drew. We have yet to win a
probably.
game. This is the first
I think
game we've
Southampton
ever
have
won.
the most drop points, like from leading positions.
They do.
But can I
Yeah, but
Can
go
I
ahead,
say
Denny.
something as well? Yeah. Every time Tottenham beat someone, it's always they were a bad team or this or that. They never give Tottenham credit for any matches we win. It's like we beat Fulham. Oh yeah, I know we were lucky against Fulham.
It's only Fulham.
It's always Tottenham, innit? It's always Tottenham. If it's anyone else who beats them, oh, they had a really good game, or they played really well. Tottenham beat someone. Oh no, it's lucky.
Yeah, but also too, our fan base can go the exact opposite route too. Like, I mean, today, to be honest with you, I know I'm in a bad mood, and I've been in a bad mood since yesterday.
Why are you in a bad mood, Will?
I've been a little bitchy.
Nah.
No, it's good. No, well, you needed to, because there was an awful lot of people that just were giving you crap for no reason, and you had to stand up and start, giving it back.
No, don't worry about that, Will. We love you. Your family loves you. We all love you. That's all that matters, bro. The Spurs family loves you. Don't care. Don't worry about those guys.
I'm telling
Listen,
you, bro.
Yeah, there we go. That's a good impression. And I thought that was Will's recording. To be
No, it's
honest.
not my recording.
Yeah, I know that was actually pretty good. But like,
we got Alex Burton here in the house from Texas. What's going on, Alex?
Hey, how are you guys doing this evening, guys? Great to see we had a victory at last.
Finally.
Yeah, finally.
Hallelujah.
About time.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, hallelujah, glory.
One thing I talk about, because I fell asleep through most of it. I've watched Match of the Day and other highlight shows. From what they saw of it, it looked like Giovanni Lo Celso actually had a good game.
I think you should sleep more often, Brian, through the game.
I think Regulon had a great game today.
Regulon had a great game.
Was good to
Yeah.
Obviously,
Regulon had a good second half.
He had a good second half. It was good.
Yeah.
Nobody had a
They
good
had-
first
In a
half.
Okay, well, nobody had a good first half.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but the
In
first
a
60 minutes were
just a
absolute
little bit.
shit.
Yeah,
Right.
Bale
Inatesh,
had a
put
very
your
good
microphone
game.
up just a little bit.
Who?
Inatesh, 17.
Yes.
I just put. Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mine's
from
Bale
what
had
I
a
saw,
loud.
good game.
So
from what I saw,
it
it
needs
looked
to
like
be. 'Cause I
Gio
got
was
to be the boss.
quite important in the second half. But that's like I said, I've only just seen the highlights. So I'm seeing what they think is highlights. But or let's put it this way: he certainly looked a lot better than he has done recently.
The thing is, they didn't.
Yeah, he
include
looked
the
really
number
good
of
today.
times that
Yeah,
Lo
absolutely,
Celso-
especially in the second half towards the end.
Kevin Coe says, older brother. That's what they say. Someone who's older than you in Korea, and then you kind of say older brother. He says, I love you. Be strong.
The interesting thing is half
You're
time.
making me cry
You
again.
know,
No, I'm just kidding.
the halftime thing was like, I think something changed at halftime that we haven't had for a long time, which is basically I think the players got treated with respect at halftime. They got spoken to with dignity. They felt like being professionals. They were told to make little tweaks to their positional play. They were told not to hurry on the ball, but to keep it just a little bit longer. So it takes the pressure off the rest of the team. So the ball's not coming back to them as well. And basically, Bale said some interesting things. He said, you know, it's not about me. And he mentioned one word which I haven't heard him say for all this season. He mentioned the word Tottenham. It actually came out of his mouth.
He
Tottenham.
has said it this season. He has. But do you know what I noticed in the game? I noticed in the second half what I haven't seen all season. Belief.
Fight.
Belief. It's and Mason. He said out in his post match. He said that he basically told them like he made them believe that they can win the match.
Yeah.
Bravery,
No, look-
right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
look.
had bravery, they had belief, they had fight, they had spirit, which has been lacking sorely in the last
That's 4 games.
3 to 6 months in our team.
Yeah, but people are taking this shit way too far, and that irritated me today too. It's like we barely scrape out a win against Southampton. Everybody's like, "Give Mason the contract full time."
Okay,
Hey,
let
he's
me-
a brand new
okay.
manager.
Let's do a hypothetical here. Will, I have a question for you. If we get top 4 and we win the Carabao Cup,
No.
has Ryan
No.
Mason?
No,
But seriously, like, you tell me what manager?
Cody.
No, I'm just. I'm not.
We're-
not even the manager. You're talking about a U18 coach with a UEFA B license that's
Cody,
out there
Cody.
just standing in a spot.
But
Cody,
look at
Cody.
the situation that I am suggesting. Okay,
Listen, apparently he has a good football brain.
what manager is going to be able to take this team to top 4 this year in the current position?
He's
Not
so
him.
young that Hugo and Bale made him sing a song
I
when
feel
he
like he's
came in
in
as
a Lampard
manager.
situation.
Yeah, no, Cody. No, buddy. Look.
I'm not saying it's a good idea. I'm just saying if he gets us top 4, if we run the table, if we win the next 6 games, tell me a manager in world football who would win the next 6 games with this lot.
Cody, I'll
look,
tell you what
look,
I would do. Cody, I'll tell you what I'd do if that happened. If that would happen, I would hire a new manager, but insist that Brian
Okay.
Mason needs to be assistant manager.
There you go.
And the deal is
Yeah.
that the next manager.
I'm not
after
saying that we
that'd
should
be
consider it. I'm just trying
No,
to play
that's
devil's
what I'm
advocate
saying.
here with a hypothetical.
He's too young.
But that's what if in my opinion, if Mason was able to do that, get us top 4 and win the Carabao Cup, then obviously you can see that right there is definite potential. Obviously he's working wonders with the youth, and like I said a few weeks ago, the youth is the only good thing going at the club at the moment. But if he got those 2 things, he said Carabao and top 4, I would blatantly say, right, let's just get whoever. Let's just say it was Brendan Rodgers, just because it's the first name that came to my head. Brendan Rodgers, Mason is 100% assistant. The second Rodgers goes, Ryan Mason's the next manager. That's what I would do.
So everyone is saying, sorry, well, you're saying that there's nothing that Ryan Mason can do to earn this job.
Nope.
No.
One thing I did notice though was that they had a game plan. The players mentioned it afterwards, after the game, that they had a game plan. They were told to be in certain types of position, to play in a certain way. And when I looked at the game itself, I saw that the majority of their play was pass the ball to either wing side and then and move the ball forward that way. They didn't play the ball through the middle that often. They did once or twice, but apart from that, it was mostly to take it along the channels, along the sides, along the wings, to push the ball that way. That was definitely a game plan. They must have realized that going through the middle was dangerous if you turn the ball over, and he could strike back against us. So
Yeah.
Mason definitely put a plan to the players. Bell, when he's referring to Mason, he called him the manager. you know, the new manager. So there's a level of respect that they've got for Mason. Obviously, he's not going to be the be-all. He's not the big type of name that's going to bring any type of players in. He doesn't have the experience, doesn't have necessarily the licenses, or even a network team that he would call coaching team that you bring with him. So I agree, he's not currently the manager. Because he's one of ours, we just wish him the well until the end of the season.
Yeah.
But it's going to be Nagelsmann, or I think Nagelsmann's name has been mentioned so many times, and I don't think there's no smoke without fire.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be Nagelsmann.
Nagelsmann, Ten Hag.
I will back him. I will support him. I will cheer him on till the end of the season. But if people start seriously talking about giving him the whistle full time, I'm gonna lose my shit.
Yeah,
I think one of the reasons why people are so adamant on hiring him as a full-time manager because they've seen what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did not last year, but when he was a caretaker manager. How he came as a
Solskjaer looks like Jose Mourinho compared to Mason, my friend.
Yeah, but when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer came in, he turned the team around, and he deserved to get the managerial job. And then when he got it, you seen what he was lacking. I think.
Can I say something?
Abdul, Oli also got
Danny's trying to jump in here, but his mic's too quiet because he's on his phone.
Yeah.
You crank up that wrench too, there, Danny.
Abdul, just one thing. Yeah. Abdul, your volume is just a touch too loud. But coming back to the point of Nagelsmann,
fine.
You know what? I'll make it automatic. I feel automatic is
The thing with Nagelsmann is that his methodology of playing is that he will change his formations, he will change the style of play according to who they're playing. In other words, he wants to win. The philosophy is to win. Now, however you win, however you get the results, means you keep your job. It means the fans will stay on your side.
Unless you're Ryan Mason.
Well, the thing with Ryan Mason is that Ryan Mason doesn't have those years of experience that Ole had. Ole went back to his country. We
can't really count that though. Like, really, we're gonna.
No, but the thing is,
more than one side. He got a side relegated.
Right? It's still
managed.
The reason that I pose the question of Ryan Mason is because I think that there is a greater than 0% chance that would happen. And it's not to do with anything other than the fact of the external circumstances that we find ourselves in right now. This club is in complete disarray. And if Enoch are not going to put up the money that it takes to fix it, it serves them well to have somebody who's going to be Daniel Levy's puppet in charge of this club. It's come out that one of the biggest reasons that Jose was sacked was that him and Levy were going at it over managerial decisions.
Yeah.
So wouldn't it just make sense? I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm just saying that there's a greater than 0% chance that Ryan Mason ends up in this job next year.
Oh, no. Cody, if he gets, listen, whether we like it or not, if he gets top 4 and he wins the cup, he's getting the job. That's just Daniel Levy.
But the question is, does he deserve it?
No, but the thing is,
does he deserve it?
He will.
No,
he will.
He does. He doesn't deserve. No, he doesn't because he. This is a massive football club with massive
We're
issues.
a top 6 side, and he's never coached a major division club.
Yeah.
Are these players as a collective? Are these players shit?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
They should be able to win this. They should be able to win every match throughout the rest of the season by themselves. You could literally go get the panhandler down at the end of the road and throw him up there, and they should be able to get the job done.
Got a point. I think that's what it is that the head coach position nowadays is trying to get the team to play for them, trying to get the players to play for them. But there has been a little trend in the last 5 years where managers have come in that have been ex-players. It seems to be popping up everywhere. I think there's a new generation of managers coming through. Obviously, right now, Ryan, if you ask Ryan, he'll tell you straight, I'm not even thinking about it. I'm just concentrating on one game at a time. And he is way too inexperienced. He needs to go out and mature somewhere before he comes back to even manage a Premier League side, let alone a top 6 side.
If Levy gives him the job, it just goes to show how much of a dumb fuck he really is.
Yes.
Yeah. Because you already saw it today, right? 100%. You already saw it today. It's exactly what happened. Ryan Mason walks in, and it's like,
give me that man.
Whoops, wrong one.
Everybody wants to play.
But can Ryan Mason really do a worse job than Jose Mourinho did over the last few games?
The thing I want to say on that, Alex, as well, is what you've got to remember, even if he does what Cody was saying, like in a hypothetical, is if we're going to keep Harry Kane, and Human's son, Ryan Mason is not the name that's going to do it.
No, he's not. We
need a manager that's got some bit of clout, got a bit of knowledge, got a bit of things back to him. Now, don't get me wrong.
Experience.
Will Ryan Mason be a future Spurs manager? There is every single possibility, 100 billion%. But right now, do you hire him?
Mr. K dropped out.
He's
at your peril.
He's not exactly. He's not going to be able to keep. If Harry Kane is saying, right, I want to see what direction the club's going in, and I'll stay if we improve. You cannot say Jose Mourinho to Ryan Mason. That just doesn't make any sense.
No. Yeah, no way.
Look, I just also got to be real with it. You know, comparing Ole's gotten a billion in terms of backing throughout all of his transfer windows.
I'm gonna pull myself out and bring Jason Groves in so he can have a chat. And I'll be back in a minute.
It's just insane. Like you cannot compare him to Tottenham. He's not going to get that same type of funding. Honestly, I believe if United had a better manager, they could be competing for the league, if not win it. I truly believe that.
Yeah, absolutely. Ollie's not the best manager out there by any means.
Yep.
Look, when we were playing United, I watched several preview shows that featured Man United fans who said that they would take Jose back, and that is looking at the dumpster fire that he is leaving behind here at Tottenham. They're definitely frustrated that they haven't got any trophies under Ole, and can you imagine just putting up with Jose?
Well, he left a very similar dumpster fire at United.
And Chelsea.
Right?
So why would they want him back?
Well, I mean, it's like an echo chamber, though, isn't it? I mean, take a forum online, pick any forum. The most vocal voices there are the people that are upset. Like, you could have 5 people that want him back and 10,000 people that don't. Do you know what I mean? Like the people, like I would guess if you did a poll of 50% of United fans, like a very small percentage would want him back, and the bigger percentage wouldn't. But that's just me guessing.
No, I think you've got a good guess there, my friend. I think you've got that spot on the thing. It's an echo chamber. You're always going to get the people who are going to be for or against something shout the loudest. Absolutely.
That is assuming that you can mute the Mourinhistas or the Jose followers, right?
Jose sexuals.
Did you see on Twitter when we conceded the first goal? The amount of Mourinhistas that came out and saying, Jose can do a man job, Jose can do a man job. If that was Jose and they scored the first goal, we would have lost the game. I guarantee you.
I'm not going to lie, like I don't have a lot of it, but I was nearly pulling it out in the first half. I was like, come on, guys, get it together. But
we did. Yeah. But that was the thing. We did get together, which is something we never see. When we scored, listen, Jason, when we conceded the first goal, how many of us just thought, yeah, we lost the game?
Yep. No, yeah.
Like, I bet all of us.
Especially considering, you know what, when you look at the context of the job that Ryan Mason did today, okay, first of all, we're all kind of being distracted by all of the external factors that are going on. But the reality is that this was a Tottenham team that didn't have Harry Kane today. And that is a huge, huge deal because basically every single player on that pitch relies on Harry Kane in one form or another, whether it's defensively, him dropping into the midfield, or creating space for the attackers. So I was thoroughly impressed with the way that we made adjustments. You can't be surprised that we looked completely disorganized with 48 hours for Ryan Mason to prepare with a Harry Kane-less squad. I just thought, like you said, Marcelo, the Jose in crowd that were doing their victory laps after like 26 minutes, I guess it's not the manager, it's the players, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, Jose had Harry Kane for every game this year except for 2 games.
He's actually never won a game. This season, he's actually never won a game when he didn't have Harry Kane. He's always had to use Harry Kane at the put.
Hold on. That's unfair because that was only this season. Last season, remember, Harry Kane was out for some time.
But do you know
and
what?
they were winning
No, but I'm talking about this
game?
season. This season,
this
he
season's
hasn't
different,
won
yeah.
a Premier League game without Harry Kane, which is shocking.
Do you know what impressed me about that game? And there was a few things. One, if you listen to like the player interviews after the game, and they were like, or Ryan Mason's interview after the game, his halftime team talk made a difference.
Yes.
And the players said that, he basically gave them some like little things that they could improve on and belief that they and the freedom to go out there and fucking play football.
Wait a minute. Are you trying to say that shitting in your players' mouths at halftime doesn't work?
Shock.
Shock horror.
Breaking news.
Did anyone else? Did you?
No, it does work, but it doesn't work with our players. It works where you have players with strong sort of drive, a strong determination.
I'll
players
be honest,
from the past.
It doesn't work in the current generation, not just our players.
Yeah, it
Did
doesn't.
anyone else see Son's interview?
Yeah. Yes, I saw it.
Yeah,
that reached into my crusty old heart and pulled some strings, man. Like that guy cares so much about Tottenham.
And I know I want to make a point about Son's interview too, because
He's signing a new contract.
The video online was about 4 minutes long, and when you got into that last minute, there was a point in that interview where Son said that football is for the fans, and that without the fans, football doesn't mean it. It was when they were talking about the pride that he would feel playing in the Carabao Cup final, and he was saying, "I don't want the pride of being a participant. I want the pride of winning it." And he made a point.
Fans.
So I think that Son wants Enoch out too.
I think all the players do, if I want to be honest.
How good did Gareth Bale look today? It just goes to show as well that the last few games, it just goes to show the last few
awesome
games.
today.
Bro, his left
How
foot is
not
amazing.
tired did Gareth Bale look?
Exactly. It just
Like
goes
all
to
this
show how bad
fitness
it had got.
bullshit.
Exactly.
It does go to show that Jose was underutilizing Bale. I think if he used Bale a lot more, we would have gotten more results.
Guys, how many goals? How many goals has Sonny scored this season and last season? And even he was impressed with Bale's goal because they technically know what Bale did to score it. He didn't blast it. He had to softly place it into the top left-hand corner.
That was fantastic.
And he had to bring it back another yard and a half.
Can I add something as well, right? Lucas Moura, I saw a stat at the beginning of the game. He scored 9 goals and 8 assists. That's like his best return in the Premier League for us so far in terms of equal numbers of stats and goals.
Tell you the truth, Paddy, that's probably his best season when you combine the other 3 put together.
Yeah. And it's not over yet, so you can still add a bit more to those numbers.
Yeah, I think playing him in that central role was crucial in attacking midfield. But I do kind of want to go on a rant on one negative. I don't want to ruin the positive vibes. But
go on, Marcelo.
Ndombele, dude,
Yeah,
I'm getting sick of this guy. I know I'm getting sick of this guy.
Same,
Honestly,
I am.
2 years and this guy is still not fit. I don't care. I don't care if you have the style. I don't care if you have the swag. I don't care if you sometimes you make a little nice clean pass. No, Mr. K. This guy is fucking fat and it's been 2 years and he can't play 90 minutes of football.
Marcelo, you and me are going to be arguing about. Listen, Marcelo, you and me are going to be arguing about this till the end of the season. I just know it. Look. Let me ask you. You guys all watched the match, right? Yeah. Well, most of you did, right? And what do you notice in this match and previous matches when Ndombele has the ball in the midfield? What happens? He gets kicked, shoved after the ball's gone.
He gets swamped. Like they did a good job of swarming our midfield, but they had to, and that's why in the second half we come on top because I think they started to taper off. They were getting tired.
Mr. K,
leaving gaps.
Mr. K, is that an indictment or a defense of Tanguy Ndombele?
There's 2 things. There's 2 things here. One is that basically if you're doing tight turns, I was hearing this on the Tottenham takeaway. Tottenham away. So they were saying that basically because he holds onto the ball and does tight turns, he's going to draw a foul. I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about the ones where after the ball is gone, he's getting kicked and shoved. Now, what I notice about Tottenham, the team in the midfield, is nobody's coming to his defense. Nobody's going up and pushing a Southampton player back and saying, "Don't touch our players."
Actually, that's not
who
true.
did?
The amount of times I was screaming today for a known baller just to pass, just pass.
No,
And he's
I get what you're saying.
Just
I get
pass
what
the
you're saying.
ball.
I'm not referring to that. What I'm saying is that whenever I've seen him getting shoved around after the ball is gone, I'm not talking about him with the ball. I'm talking about once the ball's gone. Whenever I've seen him getting shoved around and kicked, one, the referee doesn't give a free kick. Secondly, nobody comes to his defense. Thirdly, what happens is he starts to get frustrated. Then when he gets frustrated, he then holds the ball even longer and he dribbles with the ball into cul-de-sacs. So with you, Marcelo, I understand what you're saying there.
No, but see, if that's the case, then he needs to adjust his mentality and not get frustrated.
No, you're making. Listen, everybody. No, I'm sorry. Everybody gets tackled in the Premier League. Sonny is probably one of our most. Sonny and Lucas is probably one of our most tackled
Lucas gets
players.
upended a lot.
Lucas literally gets tackled
All the
about
time.
20 times every game, and he still looks like he can play another 40 minutes after the game is over. No. He is lazy. He is lazy off the ball. Do you see him just sitting there, just like
Marcelo here.
just jogging, like when we're in the fucking
It's his
counterattack.
defensive rate that really sticks out. Like when you're getting outrun in the midfield.
No.
Like
If we get another,
Armstrong and James Ward-Prowse, something's going on. Something's wrong.
listen.
To
If
be
we get
fair,
it, go ahead.
To be fair, like they didn't have a lot of room or hardly any time to do anything in the first half because like they were on us mob-handed as they had to be. So I mean, but in my opinion, he had a piss poor game.
Look,
Like,
here's what I'll say about
for me, it's his
Ndombele.
fitness.
Here's what I'll say about Ndombele. He's a very unique talent that I am not convinced is suited to the Premier League because of the physical nature of the play. I would liken him, if we were going to do a comparison to, like, let's say American football. If you watch American football, mobile quarterbacks do not last long in the league. And the reason is because they pay the price physically with their mobility. They have to make plays using their legs. They get outside the pocket and they make, and I don't know if this is like speaking gibberish to like anyone that doesn't watch it, but I don't know. I'm not convinced that Ndombele can succeed in the Premier League because really he is the type of player where when he's on it, the only way to get him off the ball is to foul him. And we saw that in the first leg against Zagreb, right? And the repercussions of that was he was not willing to go in against Arsenal 3 days later. That's why he didn't show up, because he was completely battered. And so that's my argument.
He's a joke, honestly.
He's just a unique talent.
Do you know what? Right?
A lot of players get fouled, though. I don't like giving these extra excuses to Ndombele. Like one of the main things that really annoyed me.
So where do you think he should play then?
Out of my club.
No,
Out of my club.
Out
of my club.
Out of our club, but in what league?
He should play in
Italian
Spain.
league. Italian league. He would suit the
Italian league?
Yeah,
Where it's less physical?
Definitely not the Premier League. You know, any of the other leagues, I think he would be better suited to.
Or the Spanish league.
I would tell Ndombele.
He needs to toughen up. That's all I gotta say to him. Honestly,
one thing you got to remember, Marcelo. Now, I've not been happy with Ndombele the last few months or last few weeks.
Same.
But the thing is, you got to remember, it took 2 years for Sissoko to do well at the club.
Yeah, and he's a great player, right?
Well, he's not now, but he had a couple. No, don't get me wrong. I'm not comparing. Believe me, Ndombele has got a lot more potential, and if it needs to take him a couple of seasons, I think next season is do or die for him. It's do or die.
He's got to go up another level.
Marcelo, let me
No,
ask
but
you.
the thing is,
Let me ask you this,
no,
Marcelo.
look. The difference is the reason why Sissoko took him a couple times is because technically he is shit. It was nothing to do with physicality. Sissoko has probably been one of the most physical and fit player in the Premier League over the years. This guy is fucking huffing and puffing, looking for his Cocoa Puffs after like 2 minutes. Like I can't, dude. I can't with this guy anymore.
Sissoko had to switch positions when he came in. He wasn't even like a right mid for Newcastle.
Yeah.
So he fully changed up his whole game stuff. In the Euros in 2018 against Portugal, he was playing as a right mid.
Yeah,
And
it
then,
was a
so like the last
technical.
couple of years, we totally switched up his game style,
Yep.
made him more of like a box-to-box game. I think that's one of the main reasons why
It was
it's
a
taken him a
technical
long time.
adjustment, Abdul. It was a
That's what I'm
technical
saying. It's
adjustment,
different
not a
than just
physical.
simply.
Okay, Marcelo, let me ask you this. Okay, when Tanguy and Ndombele is on his game, do you like to watch him?
When Lucas Moura is on his game, I like to watch him. You know, when everybody
just
is on the
answer,
game.
just
No,
answer.
yeah, he's nice to watch. No, don't get me wrong. I call him
What
a
about
no faller.
What about when Winks is on his game?
Oh, Winks is shit. I want to get him out as well.
Yes, Marcelo.
He actually played all right when he come on.
He was
Oh,
okay
don't say
today.
that, Jason.
Look,
Jason,
No,
come
no,
on.
no,
Slate-
no,
no,
no. We're
I-
doing it again. We're doing it
Listen to
again.
me.
No.
Listen-
Can I say
No,
something,
listen
right?
to
Wait,
me.
wait. Hold on,
I
Jason.
don't like Winks. I'm just saying he didn't play bad when he come on.
I see a new 3-year contract coming in. Oh, like when are we
He had
gonna
2 good
learn?
touches.
No, he did his job. He grabbed the ball in midfield, fell down, got a free kick. That was his job.
Oh,
Yep,
well
yep.
done. He did
Give him a
5
3-year
minutes of good
contract for
play.
that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Kyle Walker
I
Peters,
think-
I thought had a really good game
I think
too.
Winks was worried that Ryan Mason was going to take a spot in the starting 11.
Wow. No, look. Listen, just because
Before
if
we
we
start
do
on
good under
people like
Ryan
Ndombele,
Mason,
listen, Marcelo, before we start on people like Tanguy, let's concentrate more on the players that we definitely 100% all agree we need to get out.
oh no,
with
100%.
Ndombele-
But he's getting to that list. He's getting close to my list.
Yeah, but
Listen,
it's
bro,
not.
I'm being
He's on the
cutthroat.
hit
We-
list.
That's fine with you, but what I'm saying is, it's like the rest of us have to like. So I mean, I'm saying the rest of us do agree on certain players. Like for example, today, how did we end up letting a goal into our back net? Like, who was marking the bloke that headed the ball in?
Aurier.
Right. Who let in the last 2 goals in the previous game? Who let in the goal before the third game
No,
before
no,
that?
look. Mr. K, you're
There's a
saying something.
consistency
You're
there.
not. Who are you arguing with? Aurier is also on my list.
So that's my point. My point is that we can't just look. We got to be a little bit realistical about our expectations on what we want our squad to look like. And what I'm saying is that certain players need certain other players around them in order for them to play their best game. Number
But
one,
I'm just saying.
Tanguy was playing too deep. He was way
No,
too far deep.
you're
We're
making
getting money.
excuses. He was literally
Can I
playing
add
in
something,
number
right? Can I
10.
add something to the Tanguy thing? Like from what I've seen in the
Are
last
you
couple of
talking
months,
about he's
right?
playing too deep? He was like playing number 10, bro. You're like, what are you
Can I
talking
add
He
something?
wasn't that
Right?
bad.
about, man? No. You're making excuses. No. He was awful that game. Look, here's what needs to happen. If Inter comes back with that 80 million offer for Tanguy, take it, run with it, get fucking Florian Nahus, get Bissouma, get one of those guys. Because, or especially Bissouma, I would love to have Bissouma.
Marcelo.
Get someone that is prem ready.
It's David. It's the Hotspur.
All right, guys. All right.
How's it going, bub?
David, tell me about Harvey Winks.
I just wanted to come on and back Marcelo up about end on fat ass.
Marcelo. Yeah, wait, David, can I add something as well, right? From what I've seen of Ndombele and Don Fatas, right? He looks like to me, yeah. If he doesn't get up another level next season, for me, I feel like he's hit his peak level in the Premier League. If he doesn't get his fitness up, if he doesn't go up that next level next season, for me, he's done. I want him out as well.
He's got the skill. He just doesn't have the physicality.
but he doesn't have the
Lads, didn't you see him after 4 minutes in the last game? He was guzzling the water. He was guzzling the water after 4 minutes. He was absolutely breathless. He was fucked. No,
Yeah, he's
honestly,
got that
this
Luke
guy,
Shaw.
look, he has all the
My
potential
man
in the
can do
world.
better on the pitch.
He has all the potential in the world, but honestly, he needs to drop I know this shouldn't be coming from me, right? I'm a big guy, but he needs to drop a couple of stone. End on fat ass. He can't move. He can't move. The only thing he's good for is letting players bounce off him. This guy, no, honestly, he's starting to wind me up. I've been saying it for a long time. He's fitness. Like, we bought this guy, record transfer, right? This guy's a record transfer, and he can't even be. He's not even fit. He's not even fit.
Lo Celso, who's been injured for the whole fucking season, looked more fit than him. How does that even happen?
Yeah, that is true.
Well, he probably eats a few less Big
Do
Macs.
we not have a dietitian at the club somewhere?
Yeah, but he
Oh,
ain't listening to him, is he? He's like,
He probably has a drive-through in his own house.
Can I ask who gave Ndombele right? Yeah, who gave Ndombele that nickname, Dombola?
Big boy.
Expressions, wasn't
I
it?
swear that was Marcelo. Marcelo, wasn't you calling him the baller at the beginning of the season?
Yeah.
Brilliant, David.
Right. So he's
I do
gone
that-
down in your expectations. No, I'm saying he's gone down in your eyes because you see that he's not physically able to maintain himself.
No, he's still
Luke
a
Shaw had
baller.
the same problem. Luke Shaw had the same problem at Man United when Jose first got there, and he said, "Look, this guy's not fit enough. He's not able to run fast enough."
Do you know?
Yeah, but this was before Jose was here. Pochettino, he couldn't get him
Can I add something, right? From what I've read reports this season, like the players have had like not as intense training sessions, like in terms of the actual training sessions they do on a daily basis. So if you get a manager in who's actually going to have a lot more higher intensity training sessions, then maybe he might get his fitness up. But if we get a new manager in and he doesn't do that, then for me he's gone. I want that fat boy out of the club.
Well, Danny, adding on top of that, mate, you got to remember we bought him. He's an attacking player, and then you look at it, and Poch would have had him attacking, but he couldn't keep up the training. Then we bought him, like I've been saying before. Then we brought in a defensive coach in Mourinho. This goes back a lot further. We have gone from, like I said before, Liverpool replaced Brendan Rodgers with Klopp. It was the same kind of philosophy, attacking forward.
Yeah.
We go from Martin Jol to AVB, from AVB to Harry Redknapp, from Harry Redknapp to Sherwood, from Sherwood to Pot. There is no continuity. So we need to get the best out of him. We need a forward-thinking coach to try and get the best out of him. But number one he has to do is his fitness. Number one, without a doubt, David's right, Marcelo's right when it comes to that. He's bang on the money. It's his fitness. But we need a coach that can get the best out of him in his best position and not just try and find a position for him. We got to make one. He's that good.
I think that's where Skip comes in as well. I think Skip will
and as well, just
in the midfield.
Just to add to that as well, look, it's all well and good. It's all well and good putting out training clips of him doing it on a five-a-side pitch.
Correct.
You know what I mean? That's all well and good. But produce it on an 11-a-side pitch.
Correct.
Okay, no, I think look, you guys all have a point. I mean, today he was shocking. He was in the midfield. I remember there was one time he was in the midfield, and he kicked the ball. He kicked the ball like skied the ball nowhere. And I think Marcelo was about to have,
I think he's been watching Sissoko too much.
Well, who are you talking about?
I said Tanguy had the ball in midfield, and he literally skied the ball for no reason.
Yeah,
and it was like
that's the one me and Marcelo. That's the one where I walked off.
That's right. You walked off, and I think you guys look. The way I look at it is this: is that when you have yourself a quality player inside the player that arrives at Tottenham, we've always had the ability. If you look back, that we've got classy players like this, and we've somehow polished them into, real diamonds, right? This guy has definitely got the makings of a great player. The question is, can we do it here with our team? And
Mate,
that's the main thing right now.
Listen, I've been here world class. I've been here all this and that about it. No belly. Look.
You're too impatient.
Look. If you can't, and impatient. We've been waiting for 2 years, lad. You can't even play for 10 minutes. We're waiting for 2 years. Like I can't play for 10 minutes.
No,
the guy still looks like a round beach ball.
What are you talking about? He trained really hard. He trained really hard over summer, and then when he started the season,
3 years now.
No, but listen,
we gotta wait for 6 years.
But what's the point? I'm not even going to talk about him otherwise. What I'm saying is,
he's as slow as a hot air balloon.
Oh, bananas, man! Look, stereo sound. I'm just going to put myself on mute, man. You two guys don't want to listen to anyone else's opinion but your own, right? And you're going to keep shouting about it and drowning other people out. Come on, guys. Listen, when he came back from summer, the beginning of the season, what did you see? You saw a guy that was running, putting it in there, and he was being given 60, 70, 80 minutes at a time. And you started to see the best of him, right? So there's definitely a good player in there somewhere. Just because he's played a couple of shit games, well, a string of shit games, right? Yeah. But the thing is, every time he does turn it on, the guy's magic.
Yeah, but it's not
this
shit
is Tottenham
games.
we're talking about.
No, but
we've
the
got
thing
so many
is-
shit players under him.
But the thing is,
let's be fair.
No.
today
But
was
the
kind
thing
of
is, it's not just shit games. It's the physicality and what he shows on the pitch. It's just not good enough, Mr. K. Look, Højbjerg had a string of shit games. Sonny had a string of bad games. But like they can at least play more than like 10 minutes. Like this guy looks like he's like about to drool and like pass out after the first half, lad. You know what I mean? That's not good enough. That's not good
And
enough in the Premier League.
You also, where he's playing, you can't afford to carry. And I use the term dead weight loosely because he is a talented player, but you can't afford to carry dead weight in that position. You need someone that's fucking mobile and physical and can get around.
Bissouma. That's the guy, bro.
That is a good call. I'll give you that.
Listen, I'm telling you, if we get an 80 million transfer for Inter Milan for Ndombele, sell it up, get Bissouma, get Florian Nehus or Sabatzar, one of those two, and you have a proper midfield.
I do have
Skip is going to be coming back. Everything's going to be coming back.
What about Lo Celso then? What about Lo Celso? He's had more time. He's had more time. And how did he play today?
Shit.
If there are no offers,
how many years has he been here? Look. The talent is obviously there.
It's been around the same time as Ndombele.
Sorry, I swear Lo Celso came in before.
No, they came same window.
The one thing I want to add about this is, if let's just say we went for a Bissouma right now after Daniel Levy's antics and the other 6 chairmen over the last 2 days,
we ain't getting any fucking money anyway.
There is no chairman in England that's going to deal with him, and if they do, it's going to be 30 million more than what it originally was, and he won't pay what it originally was or half of what it originally was. So I think when it comes to people, you've got to remember this summer when it gets to bringing players in now, when it comes from the Premier League, any target we possibly could have had, forget it. It's not happening. We have really shot ourselves in the foot. It's not happening.
I have a question for the panel. Does anyone here actually think that Levy's going to... Like, do you think there's money there to buy players?
Yeah, one of our big players is going to leave.
Right, just say they don't. Do you honestly... Because the way...
Do you want my honest opinion, Jason?
If they don't, go on.
I think there is money there. But because the stuff that they've been doing in the background for this Super League and also sacking Jose, all this kind of shit that's been happening over the years, there is money there. There's no way a billionaire owner does not have funds there if they need them. And all this thing about...
doesn't put money into our club, though.
Yeah, but listen, the money is there. That's what you asked the question. If the money is there, yes, the money is there, but it doesn't necessarily mean he's going to use it. That's a difference.
Yeah. Well, all right. Okay. Let me rephrase the question because that's what I meant. Do you think we're going to be given money to buy these big players in the summer?
So Jason, what I think he's
absolutely not.
I'll tell you one thing that I think he's going to do. What I think he is going to do, knowing the way that this prick operates, is he will probably he will probably buy us one diamond, as I call him. He will buy us as a kind of, here you go, look what I've done, I've listened to you, I've bought one, and that will do, and he'll think that'll buy our silence. But I saw a funny thing that in all of, I can't remember, I saw it might have been in one of the WhatsApp groups, that someone put a quote out saying Daniel Levy's already selling ENIC outposts
instead of make stupid questions.
That wouldn't fucking shock me, to be honest.
Can I just ask Will for something? Can I just ask Will to do something? Can you pull up Adir S Fasir comment, the no footballing knowledge? I just want to address that. It's kind of funny because David and I, we actually get this quite a lot.
I agree with this guy. I agree with this guy. I don't know what you're talking about. You guys pull him up by yourself.
Mr. K, that's okay. Mr. K, that's fine, buddy. You've been watching us long enough, but it's funny because when David and I were talking about how Dyer's shit, Winks is shit, and Davies is shit, we need
everyone's shit in your book,
ENIC is shit. No. And then everybody. Listen, shush. I'm talking. Shush. I'm talking. You don't want to be interrupted. Don't interrupt me. Every time those players, right? We were talking about them. We always got the Winks, boys, the Ben Davies jerk offs, telling us we're stupid, we're idiots, we're dummies. And then all of a sudden, they came back and they said, "What was it, David? I apologize. You were right." I will wait for your apology, dear Easter, when fucking Ndombele, it's 20 minutes in and he's looking for his Big Mac. All right? I will wait for your apology. I will wait for it.
That's on the conveyor belt into the bedroom now.
Because the thing is, David and I are not afraid to say it. We say it how it is, bro.
If you're going to be honest, though, there are far more players that need to go before Ndombele, though.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I agree, but
100%.
if we get 80 million for him, we should sell. Get better players.
That's a big if.
But we're not going to get 80 million for him.
Daniel Levy will
Listen,
buy a
if-
packet of peanuts instead.
If we get 80 million from somebody, we should sell them regardless. If somebody's offering 80 million for anybody, we should sell them.
Unless it's Kane.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Let's just
I
do
think-
Kane
I
for
think
80 million.
this we
And
were
then the
already at a
question is
huge.
how much the
We
80
were
million will get
already at a huge crossroads as a club, and this whole ESL stuff and the position that people are in now
Oh yeah.
is gonna. I see us finishing top 12 next season if we're lucky. I don't think we'll get a single
Honestly-
signing in the summer.
Yeah. Fuck.
So
Yeah,
we won
fuck me,
today.
Look,
Cheer up,
I think-
I mean,
boss.
in you-
Holy.
In what world? In what world does
Holy.
Daniel Levy go out there and actually spend money? No.
No.
Well, that's
No, we're
hence-
gonna-
we're gonna
do
hence
that.
my question.
Look,
Yeah,
it's net spend. Net spend, right? Yeah. I think we were 18th in the Premier League net spend.
Yeah, but
And
you
yet I've
can't
heard
count
fan
net-
shows turn around and say that we've spent a lot of money on
No,
players.
yeah, but net spend is different.
Yes.
I explain.
Well, net spend, if you and someone
It's where you-
correct me.
It's where
yeah.
you sell players and then you buy players, and it's the difference between that value.
Right. So that's
That's
not
right.
actually exactly what you spent.
Yes. So net spend, right? Yeah, is you sell a player, you buy a player, and whatever the difference is, that's your net spend. That's
Right.
not
Yeah.
investment. That's not investment in the
Yeah.
squad. Right. So
Exactly.
we don't invest in the squad. We do a net spend. When we sold Bale, before Bale even signed the contract with Real Madrid, we'd already spent 105 million on players that summer. Levy was buying left, right, and centre. I think Lamella
Yeah, but
came
we
in at that
sold
time.
players as well. You got to remember the players we sold that summer. We made like nearly 40 to 50 million already on players.
So my point being is that we generally
So
don't
essentially,
invest.
he only spent 50 million or 60 million, whatever it was. That's not a lot. When you just come from a Champions League final.
That's my point. My point is that we're not spending enough. We're not investing in the squad, even though we're getting money from other revenue streams. What we're doing is we're spending the money. Oh, sorry, Brian. Brian, you're muted.
You're on.
muted.
You're on
Brian,
mute,
you're muted.
Brian.
Sorry about that. Yes, thanks, Mr. K. Yeah, what I was about to say is when it comes to net spend, Stoke over the last 5 years have a higher Premier League net spend than us. and
They're not
they've
even
been
in the Premier
they've been in
League.
the Championship for 3.
Yeah.
That's my point. That's my point. My point
That's
is
what I'm
that
doing. I'm
at the
agreeing
end of
with
the
you.
day, yeah. So what we've got here is a situation where we have a quality player, and if we start rubbishing this guy, and it starts to go all the way around the chats that we don't want this player in, we might end up getting rid of a gem player just to get his money. And the way we're going to be next season, we're going to buy another Winks player from the Championship or somewhere. Or another Doherty. This is what I don't want. That's not rubbish. The
Doherty's our
quality
best
that's
player. What are
there.
you talking about?
My point.
Why are we talking about
point-
fucking Doherty?
My point being is that 15 million that we spent on Doherty could have been added to something else with a bit of investment, and we could have brought in a player that we could really develop into the club.
I agree. No, I
Yeah,
agree. I agree.
I agree with
I
that.
thought that was a big.
Max
I mean,
Aarons.
look, I don't think
Max Aarons,
it's-
yeah.
I don't think it's necessarily a case of we haven't spent money, although we haven't. It's just the money we've spent's been fucking spent badly. You get them like the money he spent on fucking XY player, he could have just paid the extra and bought in fucking better players. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but Daniel Levy smokes too much crack.
Like fucking how much extra would it have cost us to get who's that Man U midfielder we were in for?
Fernandez.
Fernandez.
How much extra would that have cost us?
It would have cost
5
us an
million.
extra 10 million euros.
10.
Do you know what I fucking mean? 10 million euros.
Look,
Yeah, we
look,
spent
we agree.
60 million
I think
on Dombele.
Daniel Levy's a genius.
No, but we spent 60
listen,
million
lad.
on Dombele. Come on, think
I
about it for a
think-
second. 60 million.
No, we spent
It's like,
59.
why?
We spent 59 million and spent the extra 100,000 on burgers.
Look, before we start shading people like Dombele, right?
That's
yeah?
the extra food bill at White Hart Lane, yeah.
Look, at the end of the day, when this guy gets it going on, He really works. Now maybe we can get a manager coming in after this during the summer that can turn these players around, that can find a system that will maximize the use of the squad that we have, rather than like some before where, you know, hey, my way or the highway.
What system would that be?
Doesn't work.
What system do you think would maximize the players in this squad?
First of all,
without buying anyone else.
No. Okay, first of all, right, yeah, you need a manager where the players respect, that he respects back,
Yeah, all right.
and
Just
that
say
they're
they
willing to
respect
fight.
him. What?
No, but my point is, if the team fights, sometimes the quality may not necessarily be there, but when the team fights, we get results, and when we get results, we end up with smiles on our faces.
Let me ask you this,
Right.
Mr. K. Do you think
Yeah.
Ndombele would fit a Nagelsmann system? And there is an answer to that question, by the way.
Nagelsmann doesn't have a system. He plays to win.
He does
just
actually.
Like Jose did.
He does actually have a system.
He's been changing
Counterpoint. Do you think Nagelsmann would fit into Tottenham's system?
No,
he would.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yes,
I don't know
I
any
do.
top
I
level
do.
manager would want to put
Let me
up
explain
with
why
fucking
I think that
league
Nagelsmann
bullshit.
would. He will do whatever it takes, use whichever player he's got against whichever team he's going against. He's not that principally minded on a particular philosophy where he says, I'm only going to play this way, and that's it. He doesn't do that. He analyzes tactically exactly what he needs to do with his squad in order to get the best out of them.
To be fair, that's what a manager should be doing. We're only using that as a compliment because we're coming off the heels of a manager who refused to do that.
So Jason, just going back to your question, Jason.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So go back to your question about the best way to maximise the talent we've got. I would find a way to start with 14 players because that would be the best way to maximise them.
Because they're going to do that in the new Super League.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
Okay. You asked me the question about tactic, right? Yeah. The way it would work with the tactic with Ndombele, right? Yeah, is if you had someone behind him to cover the defense, right? And you had two advanced forwards ahead of him.
Okay, so we just need to play a system. We just need So we need to play a system and have players revolve under Ndombele because he doesn't want to run.
Basically we can have either 3-3-1-2, or alternatively we can have 4 at the back, 1 in front of that, then we've got 3 going across that, and then 2 in front of that. That would work with Ndombele in the middle, because
Nagelsmann,
for him to he's not good too far forward, he's not too good too far back, so he needs to be somewhere in the middle.
Listen, let me tell you something, Mr. K. Nagelsmann actually does have a system. He likes playing 3 at the back, and he likes playing the wing, the fullbacks almost as wing backs.
Well, there's hope for Doherty.
And then have 2 up front, and then 3 in the middle. Now, the way Nagelsmann play is that he requires his midfield to be very, very, very intense.
Mobile.
And no baller would not last 10 minutes in Nagelsmann system of play. He would get absolutely gassed, and that's why I'm worried about him, because he needs to get this.
Do you think with Ndombele that he needs kind of like a free roll in the thing?
Yeah.
He needs to be playing in the 10 spot, not in the 8.
Yeah. Yeah, he has to be playing in the 10 spot, that's no doubt.
Yes, guys, you know what time it is.
Sorry, I just got quiet there for a second. So
You know what? I'm gonna play devil advocate here, right? There's no manager in the world right now other than Ryan Mason who will fit how Levy wants to run the club.
That you're right. That you're right. Because
Absolutely.
that's bang on the money.
And that's why. Go ahead, Jason.
No, go on, sir.
No, that's the point that I was trying to make when I was asking about whether or not you would keep Ryan Mason if he won us top 4 and the Carabao Cup, is because I think there's a much greater than 0 chance that we end up with Ryan Mason as our manager, regardless of what happens going into next year.
Yeah, quite possible.
That's why he's tarnished for me, though, is because he came in during that whole ESL scandal. And if Levy's going to pick somebody during that time,
this
is going to be the one person that he knows he can control the most.
Puppet manager for sure.
So Brian
Please
Daigle, do you want to
tarnish for me.
explain what you think of Levy then?
I can't, mate. Listen, Daniel Levy, if you are watching, you're a bald-headed. I don't know if people saw me on David's show
I'm
yesterday.
telling you, bro.
I'm telling you, bros.
Yesterday, the Irish had got an exclusive. The Irish Hotspur, shall I say? Marcelo and me were on the 10-minute countdown. Marcelo was about to comment, but he wanted to wait for the 10-minute countdown, and then I kind of, the pair of us went X-rated and unfiltered. Yeah, I had. Do you know what? I'm tired of talking about him. He's a twat. He's a cunt. He needs to go. And basically, the way he saves money as well is putting forks in the sugar bowl to save money. That's how Spurs have 85 sugars, because they use a fork instead of a spoon. He's just a penny pinching tosser.
So Brian, did you see him in the stadium? Did you see how he looked after the win? He's just like this. He's just like
you know
this.
What?
He has no emotion. He has no emotion.
He never, Did you see Harry Kane after we won?
Every time you look in every time the camera's on him, he's always like this.
Marcelo, I
but
swear to God.
No, hold on, wait. You're turning around right, and looking at somebody from a different culture and a different part of the planet, and you look at his facial features. Sorry, you look at his facial features, and you're thinking, "Oh, he's not showing intensity. He's not showing passion."
But Daniel Levy's got no soul, mate.
Mr. K, are you talking about Daniel Levy?
No, fuck him.
Thank God! I was about to say I'm Jewish. I'll be able to go right in. But I tell you what, I just want to say, Marcelo, if you watch him going into the stadium again, I swear to God, all of you rewatch it. I swear to God, he had Billie Jean in his head, because he just walks down as if he's listening to Billie Jean. I swear to God, I've played it over. He is just the audacity of this prick to even show up like that.
Ryan,
what a fucking prick!
I know that you mentioned, Brian. You mentioned that you had fallen asleep during the game. I don't know if you actually got to see a few of the clips where they showed Levy, but it was so funny because as soon as he made his entrance, the cameras were on him and in the broadcast, and he sat down, and even in an empty stadium, I swear to God, that motherfucker checked both shoulders just to make sure that he wasn't going to get egged. It was unbelievable. He is definitely feeling the pressure, and that pressure needs to be maintained.
Thank God. Thank God.
How many of this current squad would be able to function in a Nagelsmann team? Given the intensity he requires, and given the fact that fucking a majority of this squad towards the end didn't fucking give the amount of intensity needed for Poch.
Well, Jason, I mean, in answer to that question, I mean, there's 8 already. I was like, I couldn't believe when Ryan Mason was asked in his interview saying, "Listen, how's the relationship going to be with 8 of the players that were still playing when you were at Tottenham?" And I was like, "What?" I was like, "Come again."
Right.
There were 8 players that were still playing for Tottenham Hotspur when Ryan Mason was there, and then you start looking, right, okay, the Deadwood. How can you still have 8 players? I mean, Ryan Mason left us in Poch's second season to go to Hull.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Then he had his obviously the injury that ended it all, which was devastating. But that's like 5 or 6 years now where there's still 8 key players that are still at the squad when he was a player, and it's just like that can't be right. So they've got to go. It's just that's the mess of it. I mean, so when you say how many players, I mean, I think from that we can devise who are the bad eggs. One thing, I don't know if he was on the bench. I was just very happy not to see Dele today. Was he on the bench?
He was on the bench. He was on the bench. I was glad he didn't come on as well.
I was just surprised because everybody else came back on. I thought Davies and Doherty were going to come on even though they were hurt.
What did you guys think of Bergwijn today? I know he only got a small cameo.
I was happy to see him.
I was.
I honestly, I was worried that he was dead, so I was quite delighted that he was still alive.
I'm surprised Harry Kane wasn't out there on crutches playing today. Is the way they had people that shouldn't be out there playing.
Run onto the pitch and take the penalty.
Bergwijn, I remember in the end of the game, he had one good chance to slip the ball in. You guys remember that? Like in maybe the 90th minute, where he had a little through pass, but it didn't go through.
Yeah,
we had like a breakaway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he hit the player in front of him with it, didn't he? Like the defender when he went to slip the ball through.
Yeah, that was it.
Does anybody else get the feeling that we are in for a very long and painful stretch as Spurs fans? I mean, for me, what I'm seeing is that Levy and Enoch, they were trying to stretch this core group of players as far as they possibly could, like a piece of bubble gum just being stretched until it tears at certain points. And the whole idea was that it would come to a head with this stupid motherfucking Super League, and that everything would just be okay after that for them because they would get this huge cash injection and everything would just be solved. And I feel like the bottom is about to fall out of our club, and we are going to be battling for the next
We're going to
5
turn
years.
into Leeds if we don't sell up. I'm telling you, we're going to turn into Leeds if we don't sell up.
Yeah,
I think if it gets that bad, because of the type of people they are, they're investment people. I think they'll know when. I think they'll know when time is to get out, and they will sell up.
Yeah.
It's now.
How many
It's
people
now.
were at the lane today? Obviously, we saw Ben there and everyone. Yeah, how many people actually were there? Do we
There
know?
were people. There's enough people to be shopping in the Spurs shop.
Oh, that was the best. I mean, well, when you sent me that picture, that just sums everything up. Have you all seen that?
Yeah, I saw that.
There's literally. Can you get the picture up, Will?
I can pull it up. All I give you is
so disheartened.
It's the funniest picture. Only Tottenham can be at a protest. A guy holding an Enoch out banner.
Enoch out. Here's my money.
Who was the Tottenham away chat that said only Spurs can protest?
That was still. That was still. It's like unbelievable. Will sent the picture in, but it's just like when I saw that, I was just like, Jesus Christ. And then David, did you see the other video? There's another video that went around on the Tottenham away WhatsApp where there's an American guy that's taking his son to his first soccer game, as he called it, at MetLife Stadium, and he says, "Go on, Manchester United." He's wearing a Manchester City kit.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
And it's just like, oh my god. It's like, oh my god. That's the state of football. Danny, I'm gonna send it to you now.
Yes. Sorry, I'm just a bit bored. I think that's kind of cool. You can just pop people out going, yeah. Let me get this other thing in here.
But hey, we won.
We did.
Do you think Bale will stay next season?
I don't know. Probably now because Daniel Levy can just tell Mason to play him whenever he wants. So, I mean, Daniel Levy might as well walk down there in the tracksuit and coach the team.
The only way Bale stays is if Real Madrid agree to pay his entire wage. That's my point.
To be honest with you, do you think maybe Levy could go back to Madrid and kind of ask for that? Do you think?
Yeah, because the thing is,
Why not?
like they're going to end up having to pay him either way, and just like our system where there's an English quota in Spain, you cannot bring in X number of foreign players. Bale's spot is valuable. Oh my god.
And he's got to be right next to Ben too, right? Like,
I'd say when Ben got home and seen that, I'd say
I don't think Ben's seen it. I don't think Ben's seen it. Ben's not in that chat yet. That's the only place I'll post it.
He will be as a Monday, and then Cody will be on it soon as well. And I think Danny, we got to get you all on Tottenham away.
I don't know if
I mean, it's just right there in the. If people in the chat aren't looking, it's that yellow circle right there with the. Looks like he bought a pair of Nike shoes from the Spurs shop.
He probably just bought that hat and shit as well.
And the big THFC sweatshirt that he's wearing underneath that coat. Was it cold out there today?
Yeah, he's saying I got a discount because it's got ESL embroidered on it.
Had the ESL merchandise on closeout. I did get 2 emails today for the Spurs shop saying 50% off. Like I'm gonna buy something now, you prick.
Yeah, I mean the most disgusting thing about that, I was watching Sky Sports News today, and when I saw that they had taken off. Or was it Sky Sports News? I think it might have been known as We Are Tottenham TV when Ben and Sim went on live first thing, and they'd taken off the statement from the club and replaced it with a promotion for the Skywalk. And I was like, you
Oh
bastard.
my god!
I was just like, they're like physically within 12 hours. This is the kind of like I said, I mean, I've been spouting my poison about these two for years. But when you see that, I mean, even that half-hearted, ridiculous apology gets taken down to promote
Brian,
the Skywalk.
it wasn't even an apology. You see, all the other owners, they all actually said sorry. I know it means fuck all anyway.
I don't give a shit.
He didn't even say sorry.
Oh, no,
Did you notice from our statement, unless I've
went-
read the wrong one, he didn't actually say we're out. He said we're going
you're right,
to
man.
start the papers to get out.
You're right. You're right. I mean, I brought that
also,
up when we read the Spurs. When we read the Spurs, I think Brian Ireland read it out on David's show yesterday, and I smashed my table and I said, even that, when he says we regret, Arsenal have come out and said we're embarrassed and I'm sorry. He just can't say it. He just cannot say it.
Honestly, I don't give a fuck what he says. He could have made a video of him on his knees and it wouldn't have fuck him.
He's a gimp.
Right. So how do we get this fucking parasite out of our
He
club?
just looks like the villain from Despicable Me. That's what he looks like. Fucking what's the guy's name? Well, that's
Groot.
what he looks. Yeah, he looks like Groot. Am I wrong?
No, you're not.
I think honestly, he is the spitting image of Brian Daigle.
He wishes he could make. You know what? Honestly, every time I have a shave, honestly, it's so good that I can't find my glasses right now because I'm like, if I could find them, that's why. You know when you said one of your forfeits for the scores is I've got to shave my head, shave my hair, and then wear the glasses that suit with the "I am Daniel Levy" name tag. Yeah, that's do you know what? Will, thanks for that because I've never been picture in picture with that, and now that's scared me even more. I might have to turn into Rapunzel now. I might have to go the exact opposite. Yeah,
Brian,
yes, bro.
I think you should get that tattooed on your back.
Mate, I would not have his name tattooed anywhere on me, mate.
No, his face.
Well, don't put him near me, man. What the hell?
Mate,
Well, you should
Put him on the
move
other
that
side,
just
man.
onto the wall beside Brian Daigle there on his picture.
Yeah,
Mate.
put him closer.
You know what, Brian?
David, what are you doing?
There we are.
Screenshot that. Everybody that's watching this video, screenshot it right now.
Like, subscribe, and comment.
You'd only get this on WillStewartTHFC Rant.
If you're enjoying the content, hit the like button.
Listen,
Yeah.
Brian,
David
are you
is tearing me a new one the last couple of days.
If you hate Daniel Levy, hit the like button.
are you and Levy like close to the same height, or would you like if we wanted you to become like a mole inside Tottenham Hotspur, would you have to walk in there like on your knees pretending to be like a certain height?
I don't think I'd have to get on my knees. I'm not like Will's height or anything like that. I think I'm 5'10". So
Right.
So
all you'd have to do is walk through the doors of Tottenham Hotspur Stadium and said, "Don't buy that. Don't buy that. We're not spending on that," and everyone would just believe that you were Daniel Levy.
Do you know what, mate? Do you know what? I would love to. I don't know who the guy that was done it, but do you remember there's a very funny people back home might remember it. It weren't Dapper Laughs, but someone came in and they went into FIFA and started throwing up fake money at Seb Blatter. I would love to do it and try and get myself into the Spurs training camp. I'd love to get it because believe me, if I could get face to face with him, whether it be in public or behind the scenes, I swear to God, whatever. If it was this time of night, I'll quickly say to Will, you need to start streaming. And honestly, you'd all get an exclusive. If I ever have the pure, it'll be lucky for me, but unlucky for him to be in the same room as him. There will be fireworks.
If the numbers
There
are
will
right,
be fireworks.
I know it's not what you want to hear.
Oh, shut up, Will, please. Please. Honestly, this guy.
I would throw a shoe at him. I think because
a shoe.
You remember when the Iraq War broke out, and someone in the media threw a shoe at George W. Bush.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
he's definitely dead at this point. But man, that was totally worth it because apparently that is like the biggest insult that you can hurl at somebody is to throw a shoe at someone. So I would throw a shoe at Daniel Levy if I had the chance.
That's disrespectful to the shoe.
Exactly. And
Say,
Cody,
if it's Nike,
What kind of
could
shoes?
you
Would
throw
you
the
go
other
like
one
red
as
boots?
well? Yeah,
Some-
could you throw them
some
both?
steel-toe boots?
Yeah, put
Cody,
shit in them as well.
you know my obsession. Cody knows I have a very, very unhealthy obsession with Dwayne the Rock Johnson. And I've even said that if I ever get to see him, one of his famous lines he says is, "Do you know what? I'm going to punch your teeth so far down your throat, you're going to need to stick a toothbrush up your ass to clean them." That's what I would do to Daniel Levy. That's
Brian, would you like a rock bottom off the rock?
Mate, I've even said if I ever got my dream is to meet this guy, and I said to him, I don't even care if I have to talk his own smack to him. If he has to punch me, if he has to fucking rock bottom me, if he has to do anything, I won't even sue him. I'll be like, oh my god, I've been punched by the Rock. Oh my god, I'm so happy. I swear to God, people, mate, he can spine, but he can do whatever the fuck he wants to me. Wrestling moves, knock me. He can punch me into the middle of next week. And trust me,
what the Rock is cooking.
So, David, just so you know, when you say that, Cody may be the one person that ever gets to witness this, but if you're ever in a cinema and I'm there and it's a Dwayne the Rock Johnson movie or a trailer of his comes on, I scream that at the top of my voice.
Oh
the
my
very second it comes on. And I do mean at the top of my voice.
I'd nearly bring you on the cinema day just to hear that, lad.
Oh, mate, honestly, sir. So yeah, we're getting back to Tottenham.
Yes.
Getting back to Tottenham. So what were we thinking Sunday? Do we reckon he's going to stick with the same? Obviously, Kane hopefully is fit, but do you reckon he's going to stick pretty much same team?
Who drops out for Kane?
That's the thing.
Probably more.
Lo Celso, maybe.
Oh, maybe
Yeah, one
Lo Celso,
of Lo Celso or Ndombele probably after today's kerfuffle.
It'll be Mora.
And another thing as well, actually,
It'll be Mora who drops.
Talking about, sorry, I completely forgot. So, like I said, I didn't get to see the game. I've seen it on Match Today. How did my favourite player on the pitch do today? How did Højbjerg play?
Yeah.
Did he look more energised?
Yeah,
than
he
he
was
has
like
been?
that. It was all right. It wasn't nothing
was all right.
special. He didn't do like badly, but it was all right.
He
was
had more
average.
energy about him, though.
Only his 54th game. Only his 54th game of the season.
Yeah, 6 out of 10 today.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. He didn't do anything bad, but he didn't really do anything good either.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did his job. You know,
He won
he
the
came out
penalty,
with some
didn't he?
tackles.
Oh, no,
when he
but that was
needed to,
regular, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's regular for the penalty.
Yeah, it's regular.
Man, do we have a chance on Sunday?
Of course we do, lad.
Kane on the pitch,
Nope.
yes. Kane not on the pitch, no.
Okay, David, what odds? What odds do you think? Like what out of 100, what do you think the chances are that we can beat Manchester City?
1%, lad, but it's that 1% I hang on to. I'm a Spurs fan. That's why people call me deluded, lad.
1%, and you're deluded. Well, I'm glad that I had my expectations right around there. Yeah, I thought you were gonna come out with something like 25% or something.
I'm over here seeing
No,
Man
look,
City
it's football. It's 90 minutes.
Aston Villa with 10
On the day, it's whoever turns up. You know what I mean? Like, Leeds only bet them there not so long ago. Look, if we show energy and everyone plays to their full potential, on our day, we can beat them.
Yeah, what do you think? We can beat them with Eric Dyer in the team because that's what I'm foreseeing right now.
Playing. It's your favorite player, David.
No. Do you know what? Like, if he does his job, like, Dyer's job is, like, he was clearly put in the team, even by Jose, for when balls come into the box, head them clear. If he can do that, I'll accept that. Let Alderweireld do all the mopping up beside him. But Eric Dyer,
David, can you admit that Eric Dyer had a good game today?
That's silent.
Look, to be honest with you, he didn't really do too much wrong. At one stage, I thought he was a Dan. He done a couple of nice passing moves and that. Look, yeah, no, he was decent today.
You know what? I honestly thought that he was decent in maintaining that high line that allowed us to press in the second half. He was actually playing way up the field at some points, and I mean it's the best he's looked since November, if we're being honest. So
the trouble is, if we play that high against City,
yeah, we get fucking bad.
Like with those two, have either of them got the fucking pace to get back?
Yeah, but you could just say that. If we play City, it doesn't matter how we play. Just regardless, if we play City, we're likely to get fucked no matter what. So, yeah, it's honestly, it's gonna take a miracle if you're asking me.
I
They're
want
leaving the train shit on the pitch with their back doors wide open.
I'll be happy if it's a game. Do you know what I mean by that? Like,
yeah.
Like if we fucking give them a game and give it our best foot forward, I'll be fucking proud.
Yeah. I think they will, though. I think they will. I think what's happened today, right, is an example of the team wanting to do that when they play, but obviously it looks like before they were being held back. I mean, Bale turned around in the interview today and said, look, we have attacking talent, but for some reason it's not being used.
Bale was digging at Mourinho so much in that interview today.
Hard fucking ball.
But to be fair, of course, Bale's going to come out and say that he's been on the bench for a while. You know what I mean? So of course he's going to come out and have a dig.
Yeah,
but I do actually want to praise Ryan Mason or Mason today, because like he could have easily put Roden in there today, but he didn't. He had one eye on the cup final, and to put Dyer in beside Toby, I want to praise him for that.
No, I think you're right there, because there's no point playing Roden if he's not going to play in the final. You want to get them used to, get them familiar again together.
Will Stewart, just note at the 90-minute mark of this stream, you're going to want to go back and screen record what David just said, that he is praising Ryan Mason for playing Eric Dyer, because that will make an excellent soundbite in the future, I feel.
And as well, my name is Moon Boots as well, so it's perfect.
I'll
I'm sorry.
I'll clip just that part out. I'm so glad he played Dyer. Like, I'll clip just that part.
No, but in terms of, like, you know, rather than springing on him and just putting him in the cup final, to get him to play today, to put him into play when he could have easily played Roden because he's our best defender, you know, you have to praise him for that.
Would you guys play Steven Bergwijn in the cup final?
What has he done? Why would we just pluck him out of obscurity and throw him in?
Yeah, you can't.
I mean, for some reason, he always has a good performance against City, so I'm just, you know.
If he had been getting some minutes here leading up to it, I would have. Like, I've been arguing for Bergwijn to be back in for weeks now, because I've been looking ahead to this final and saying we need to have someone who tracks back on that right hand side. But yeah,
he looked hungry. He looked hungry as well today, and there was something in his face today which looked very different from the rest of the season.
Yeah,
he looked happier.
He definitely looks hungrier. He looked hungrier. That's because Ndombele's been eating all the burgers off the buffet. There's not been nothing left by the time Bergwijn's got in there.
Well, hell,
Sorry, lads.
With all the other players that played today that I didn't want to see ever put on a Spurs shirt again, we might as well roll out Danny Rose and play the U13s as well.
Apparently,
Danny Rose.
The guy that's in the comments, his name is in Latin. I can't pronounce it. Just to let him know, he thinks we're talking shit about Roden and saying he's going to play the cup final. I'd advise that he actually goes and does his homework. Roden's cup tied. He can't play the cup final.
Well, come on. He doesn't know one thing. Doesn't mean he doesn't know anything. There's a difference between the two. And fair enough, he has an opinion. And because obviously, if you look at his name,
it's wrong.
It's slightly French. And therefore, maybe he knows more about this individual player than we do. That's all. Let's be fair.
What? He said Roden's going to play the final. He's cup tied. How's that? What's got to know anything more about the player got to do? He's cup tied. It's facts.
Not Roden. I'm talking about Ndombele.
Why are we back? You've got a thing for him, haven't you?
Yeah, well, we that was about 45 minutes ago, Mr. K.
Sorry, I just got back from the shops. I just got back from the shops.
We've moved on, Mr. K.
I'm getting dinner, Mr. K.
Nice.
Okay, guys.
You right there, Mr. K, holding the Spurs shot bag. Is that you?
Will and everyone, I am going to check out and go to bed. Guys, it's always a pleasure. See you all on Sunday, please God, talking about a victory. Jason, mate, I've sent you a message in the chat on this thing, mate.
Yeah, I'll reply.
How about you wait like 5 more minutes, Brian?
Why 5? So you can do some more Daniel Levy photos with me.
Yeah. I was working on one just for you.
Okay, well, do you know what? Then I'll stay for 5 just for that.
All right.
Yeah, I'm going to go and find as well, guys.
Just for that, we'll see. This is my loyalty and being such a good friend of mine. I'll stay 5 minutes just so you can rip me with my Levy lookalike. Or as David said, Levy. I don't know who said it. I think Levy looks like me, not me look like Levy.
I was about to leave the game 10, 12 minutes before the end, and I had to get ready for work. I was running late. And then I got to a stage where I thought, nah, I'd rather be late for work than miss the last 12 minutes, just in case. And that's my nature. I'm slightly optimistic.
What do you work as, Mr. K?
The way that we've played in the last 10 minutes this season, that is very optimistic. So congratulations for seeing the sunshine of life.
I saw something different after in the second half.
I did too.
That's what kept me there. And
Yeah,
I
when Danny Ings went off.
It's where am I working? I'm mostly a technologist. I normally work in IT, banks and stuff like that. But this month is a holy month. It's Ramadan, so I'm doing 4 hours outside a mosque in my local area. I'm providing security. So that's my job this month. Bouncing outside a mosque.
Very good.
Did I just see you?
Well, I thought you were actually working on a picture that was.
I did. I had to cut him out of there. You know how that takes time.
Yeah, that I'm sure it does, but I thought it was going to be a half and half or something like. Yeah,
that was actually that was like I did that in like 2 seconds.
I'll give you. So all I can say is he's got the same shiny head as me at the moment, which is all good. He's got the good Jewish shine, so it's all good. Go on, Cody.
Doesn't he look like Mr. Bean?
No.
I can see the face. I can see the face
The
of it there.
eyes.
Yeah.
The eyes and the nose.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see it.
If the number
Seriously, if you're watching this, smash a like, smash a subscribe.
Yeah. So basically, on that note, Levy out.
Leave you out.
See you later, guys. Cheers, Jason, as well, mate. I just got it.
All right, bub.
All right, speak to you later, guys.
Okay.
Bye-bye,
Don't
guys.
leave
See you,
me,
Brian.
Brian.
I'm off
I
as
think
well,
you
guys.
abused him way too much. He couldn't take it.
Don't leave me, Brian.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night,
See you,
man.
Danny.
Take care.
All right. Who's been quiet all this time?
Eunice just muted himself.
Okay. Who else hasn't had a?
Well, I'm
Eunice.
just-
Big up,
I'm
Eunice.
just-
Eunice. When did you get?
Yeah.
Is he
I'm just
mute?
listening to the
Okay, right.
conversation, but
Alex has been
Can you hear
quiet
me?
for a while as well.
Yeah, I've been
Hello?
quiet for a while. Sorry, I was just listening to the great banter going on there and the back and forth in the last 10 minutes of the game. So, anyhow.
That was, yeah, it was good. The last 10 minutes is finally we've seen something from the team where the players actually want to play. Fair enough, this always happens when a manager leaves. The players all of a sudden realize they're actually professional footballers. I think Ryan Mason mentioned that first and foremost. He says that these players are professional. They want to play for the badge, and he's treated them such. And it's a bit of a shame that they couldn't do it under Poch and they couldn't do it under Jose. But right now we've got very few games to go. We've got cup final coming up. I think with the way the fan base has been going on about certain types of things, they must know how we feel. And because they know how we feel, they're really going to go out there and really put it in. So I can see this cup final being like a real ding-dong, hopefully. Fingers crossed.
Hopefully so. Hopefully it's going to be a real ding-dong because, I mean, really and truly, they've got no pressure on them from a full-time manager there so they can go and play with a lot more freedom and expression they maybe wouldn't be able to do without. So, you can hope for the best.
I can see them maybe going a goal down because Man City is a quality side. Simple as that. I can see them going a goal down. Now, the thing is, are they going to fight back? Now, that's the thing which I want to find out. I want to find out if they can do it where it matters when it comes to a cup. Playing against Southampton, that's one thing. And I think that's just a trial, like a test run. And I think that's what Ryan Mason did with the team. He put Dyer and Toby in the middle of defense, and both those players were pointing, shouting. Even Dyer managed to pull out a decent header, which I saw in defense. So I'm a little bit hopeful. I think our squad, we've been so negative against our squad that we've almost lost all hope that they can do anything.
I was impressed with the way we didn't capitulate at the end, but
yes,
there's a big caveat there. That was against Southampton, who I don't think have won a game in this. Do you know what I mean? Like, their second half performances haven't been great either. You know what I mean?
We've also set the bar very low when it comes to capitulation this season.
Right. And Southampton are with us in that regard. So whilst I was impressed with us not capitulating, I'm not getting carried away because of who we just played.
Yeah. Yeah, but
no, it's not as if we beat Man City or something, is it now?
If there was ever a time to get carried away with confidence, however you want to say it, you know, it's right now, because this is the time where this is the only time this season that I'm going to afford myself the right to believe again, because I don't think top 4 is on, you know, not until we win a few more games and we see a few more results to go in our favor. But this is a cup final. So as supporters, it is our duty to be unrealistic about our expectations. It is our duty to go into Sunday expecting victory, because that can only do good for our team. Yes, we are risking being embarrassed, especially if we are touting ourselves on social media, but we have to support our club and we have to believe that we are capable of doing the impossible. It's David versus Goliath.
Let me ask you guys a question. If we were to win the final, how should we exploit Man City? Which players needs to have a great game? How do we exploit them? What's their weakness?
Their defense. John Stones is suspended. Ruben Diaz, I think, is injured. Laporte and Ake, I think they're gonna play.
Mm-hmm.
Wait. What happened to Ruben Diaz? What?
I think he wasn't on the bench today.
No, he was playing today, wasn't he? He was playing today, right?
Was he?
Yeah, God,
John Stones got sent off today.
Yeah, John Stones is out, which is a good thing. Look, I mean,
oh, he played today. Okay, he didn't have a good game.
I'll never watch Tottenham play or go into any game that Tottenham play thinking we're going to lose. If I'm being honest, like, I'm a Tottenham fan, so I think we're going to win every game we play. I do. I just, you know, whether I believe myself is a different kettle of fish. But
is there any news on KDB on De Bruyne playing De Bruyne? No news on him because he didn't play today.
See, the only thing going in our favour is they've got a very important Champions League game like 2 days afterwards.
Yeah, he's probably going to rest Diaz. That's for sure.
So I'm hoping he rests a few of them.
Thank God. Please, Pat, man. Please. Sheesh, man.
Like, I'll take it.
Bro, this cup means so much to me, man. It's been way too long, man. Oh, my goodness. I mean, yeah, they do have Zinchenko on their left back. I always think he's shaky defensively. I do think that he can get, like, if you can isolate him, you can definitely get at them. Like, they're not as good as what people may think they are. They can't control games. Don't get me wrong. They do have some top players, but I mean, everything just has to fall perfectly for Spurs. Chance, you know. As long as they can just stay solid for like the first 45, 50 minutes, you know, and Man City will start to get desperate. That's when you can hit them with that counter. That's the only way, though.
I mean, as simplistic as this sounds, I believe we're going to score. It's just whether we can stop them scoring more than us, which is pretty much any game of football. But do you know what I mean? Like, that's where it's a struggle. But we'll see. Like, I'm going to put on my lucky Hummel shirt, and I think we'll win.
You know, it looks like De Bruyne is the injury is not as serious as we thought. And,
but do you think he'll risk him?
The expectation is that he will for sure play in the first leg against PSG, and that he will be available for this Sunday's cup match. Now, this is a question of philosophy, because it's Manchester City just went out of the FA Cup as well. So do you really think that they're going to want to go into the semifinal against PSG having been eliminated from 2 cup finals in a span of whatever, 7 days, 10 days? Yeah, it's.
I don't, but don't underestimate Pep's need to win the Champions League.
Yeah, no, that's his number one priority.
He needs it. Now that the quadruple is off, yeah.
So, will he want to risk playing a player that may not quite be fully there when he knows another couple of days and he'll be fully there for that game? Like, I don't know, man. Like, it's all what ifs, but like, don't underestimate Pep's need to win the Champions League. Like, that is a burning want. Fucking
Guys, the number one, I mean, look, we can't change the overall quality of the players that we have in our squad. But what we can do is we can find a way, the management that's there, they can find a way to get a fire in their belly to make them try hard. And that's what we really want to see as Spurs fans. We will want to see quality later, but initially, we want to see the players that we do have fight for the badge. We want them to fight in the first half and fair enough get slapped around. But when they come out in the second half, we want them to fight even more. And that's what we really want. So regardless of how not so great some of the team is, they can all play a part in our success towards the end of the season.
And that was what was so satisfying about today's victory, is that the difference between winning and losing in a game in which 10 times this season we have lost that game, it was fight. The players showed fight, and that was satisfying.
That's the big, I mean, and that's all we really want as fans. You know, winning and losing, fair enough, it might come down to one kick of the ball. And sometimes it does. It comes down to one kick of the ball. That's how Man City won their first Premier League title. Right on the death, one kick of the ball, and they overtook Man United. Just that one kick. Exactly. That was the one kick of the ball that Mura kicked that managed to get us into the final. One kick of the ball. And that's all it can take sometimes. But before you get to that one kick of the ball, you've got to be fighting before then to get yourself in that position. And the way I see it, we've been Man City's bogey team for a number of years now, and VAR has been on our side. Look at today, for example. We thought VAR was against us, but literally a few minutes later, we got a penalty out of it. So, you know, I've got hope in my heart that we're going to beat them 4-1.
4-1? Oh, whoa.
I'm like that. I'll always say 4-1 because let's face it.
Are you sure you got cigarettes when you went to the store, or did you get something a little stronger?
No, yeah. I'm like that, where I look at our squad and I say that on our day when the team is fired up and we've got all our full strength first 11, we can take on any team. Win or lose, we can take them on. And we proved it in the past. Look, we managed to smash 6-1 past Man United. They're not a shit team, bro. You know? But which other team has done that to them? When's the last time someone did that to them? You know, this is the team that smashed Arsenal 8-2. Going back in time a little bit. But this is the type of quality of team that if you look at how much they spent on their team and how much we've spent on our team, you know, look, fair enough, they're number 2 right now. We're only, 2 points away from top 4 right now? 2 points? Fair enough, the other 2 teams have got a game in hand. Yeah, but, you know, we're not a million miles away. I'm not saying that we're going to make top 4 or that I think we can make top 4. What I'm saying is it's not a disaster of a season. It's only a disaster if you compare it to our expectations of what we had when we started the season. In that case, it's a disaster. Not only did we not fighting for the top position, we're also not fighting in most of the cups, and we're also not in top 4 right now. So that in that way, our expectations at the beginning of the season, we're disappointed, and it's like the team has failed. But in reality, 2 points away from top 4, still in it. Not necessarily, I think we'll do it, but still in it. Who knows? Maybe this team can pull it out. Maybe the other teams will fall down. You know, this can happen. Liverpool's not 100% certain to win every game. Neither is Everton. Neither is West Ham. So I think we can, you know, we can, if the team shows heart and spirit and togetherness, right? I think we can end the season well. Maybe not necessarily with the results, but in terms of us, the fans, what do we want to see? We want to see that fight. We want to see that passion. We want to see them leave it all on the pitch. That's all we want to see. We want to see them leave everything on the pitch. And if the result is good or bad, I don't really mind. So long as they go into the summer as a collective team, and then, you know, we'll see what happens after that, you know, whether Winks goes or not. But Inatesh, you're back in. Sorry, how do I pronounce his name? Can someone help me with this? The guy below me.
Inotnersh. Inotnersh. I not Nersh.
Yeah, I think there's 2 people in it. One is called Inotnersh, and the other one's called something else similar to that. But yeah, I can't pronounce it probably. But
I'm not Nersh.
I'm not nursed. Oh, I get it now. I'm not nursed. Crap. Sorry, mate. Sorry, I didn't really get it before.
I still don't get it.
Yeah, turn your mic up, mate. We can barely hear you, man.
No.
Here's a good question. Here's a question. Who do you think is going to leave in the summer?
Levy.
I'm so wish, man. After seeing the news that Ed Woodward is leaving it at the end of this year, man.
Yeah, he's gone. Basically,
so jealous.
That's different, though. Ed Woodward.
That was a compromise. That's a political compromise because it was
Brian
2 people,
Daigle,
right? Yeah.
Brian Daigle, he's still in the chat, so I have to give him nightmares. Brian, you're not watching. Brian Daigle.
All right, so that was a political maneuver because there was 2 players that got called. Sorry, there's 2 chairmen that got called out by the UEFA president. What's his name? Seferin, right? He turned around. He called out, and both of those guys have stepped down. And the other chairman have stayed.
Who was the other one?
The one from Juve, I think.
Oh,
he got called a snake and a liar.
Oh, I totally missed that.
Yeah. So both of them have stepped down. And probably the problem they've got at Real Madrid is that this guy, Perez, he just got voted in. So he's got another 4 years to go. You know, he was trying to like create this bullshit, you know, the league or whatever, so that he could like, you know, protect Real Madrid's like, look, all of these top teams, they've spent £1 billion. They're in debt £1 billion. And they had to come out with some desperate measures in order for them to like get out of it. Tottenham and Arsenal were just very, very happy that they managed to drag onto the coattails of this. Yeah. But look, who else apologized? There was a statement come out by the Manchester United owner, Glazer.
Liverpool too, right? The Liverpool FSG.
Yeah, Liverpool's owner.
Yeah. So one by one, they've started to apologize, except for our team.
Yeah, because this is what Daniel Levy did.
It almost felt. I read this statement, and it felt like it was like a justification.
Yes, it was.
It was not. It was not an apology. He was trying to justify.
He did. 100%. That's what everyone got out of it.
Me. Don't let me hear you say any of that.
I think we've got. I think is there anything in the comments that we can like have a little dig at, or rather dig up and then like maybe go over it? Is there anyone listening to the stream that has got any type of questions or a topic point that they would like the panel to answer?
The answer I wanted, but who's going to leave in the summer from the players? Not Levy, even though we've all wanted to leave.
Brian Daigle.
That's the problem. It's a mystery. With Levy, you never know who's going to leave.
I will find you. I will hunt you down. And I will kiss you all over your face.
Yunus, that question is so hard because we have no hope of Levy doing anything decent. Like, for example, Winks on the way out, there's a possibility maybe he might grab another contract. You know, that would be the opposite of what we want. So who's really going to leave? Is anyone at the end of their contract? Lloris?
Lamella?
Lamella's like the most likely to leave.
Yeah, Lamella has like one more year left.
He has to leave. I mean, come on. This guy outlived like how many managers that's on him? It's time to go.
Nice smile, but that's about all he's got. And 2 left feet. Left-footed. But yeah, he's definitely going. He's only got a year left. Now, is Aurier going to go? That's the question.
I do see it. I do see it, to be honest. Because PSG wants a right back. And ever since he left, they've been shaky in that area.
Where
you going, Cody?
Bye-bye.
How you doing?
Oh, okay. All right. Take care,
man. Have a good night.
Take care. Good night, man.
Yeah.
Good night, Cody.
Take care. Come on, you Spurs.
See you, Bob.
Come on, you Spurs.
No, don't go!
Oh my God. I'm loving those.
At least his
mind's back.
So I've just come on very quickly to say, listen, I just want to let you know, Will, that I've just spoken to my people, and I'm speaking to Dybala's people to sort out image rights for the picture that you keep sharing. I want I want anywhere between $5 to $10 every time you share it. But my people will be.
Are you talking to me, Brian?
Do you know what? Honestly, I said to my wife today, I think I need to do a John Travolta and Nicolas Cage and do a face-off to have my face surgically removed, just so I don't look like him. So, yeah, expect my people to come and speak to your people, mate, because we need to sort out image rights.
Bring it on, Brian.
Do you know what? I give a lot of banter, so I've got to take the banter, and I blame my parents for making me look like this. And making me look like
you. I should turn that off.
It's not even you.
Oh, mate. So yes, I just wanted to come on and say, loving the banter. I'm going to go and wake up and wish I don't look like I do, and thanks for giving me a complex.
No, you're way more. You are far better looking.
I made the assumption that you look like him. I was just using it to taunt you. I was trying to give you nightmares.
Jason, I would take that as a compliment, but I actually say that Daniel Levy's got the kind of face you could slap 1,000 times and it wouldn't make a difference. So on that night, I'm gonna try and get some sleep, and if I have nightmares about myself, we'll speak in the morning. Guys, I will bid you a good night. Take care and stay safe.
Good night, mate. Brian.
Goodbye.
I'll see you in your dreams.
You're having way too much fun with it.
Hey, you gotta have fun.
But I mean, coming back to Mr. K, right? I mean, Levy's watching all these games and watching all the performances. Surely he has to like have a phenomenal summer. Changes.
Well, you could have said that last year. You could have said that the year before. Like,
yeah, and 16-17 year.
Yeah.
After 16-17. My days, what a year that was.
Mm-hmm.
The problem we've got right here is that Levy's motivation and his main purpose is not something that is anything aligned with us as football fans. You know, football fans are. It's nothing to do with us. He basically does things according to whatever it is the needs of the owner of the club. And it seems clear to us now, after all this debacle that's happened over the weekend, that every decision he's made has been primarily to stick money inside their pockets and lie to the public about how much money they have to spend on this or spend on that when it comes to football itself. I made a point earlier to Tottenham away that we have got the least amount of coaches in the first team compared to any of the top 6. We also have the least amount of scouts around the scouting network compared to the top 6. The underinvestment on the footballing side of our club is atrocious compared to any of the top 6. How we've been competing with them is a miracle, and it's probably just been Kane and Son that's been doing it. And Poch has obviously, managed to galvanize some sort of attacking intent and pressing intent that got us to where we got to. But yeah, as far as Summer's concerned, nobody's got any hope of what Levy's going to do. Some say, oh, he's going to get desperate. He's going to want to get the fans on his side, so he's going to splash the cash. Well, he does that every now and again. He kind of tips the balance just when you think it's going to get really terrible. He suddenly spends 50, 60 million. But that's him trying to protect his own house.
I'm not talking about 60 million. That's not enough. That's nowhere near enough.
No, that's one player.
I'm like 120, like probably to fix some of the issues.
Yeah, but after this COVID year, he's got all the excuses in the book, right? Yeah, not to spend that type of money. And there's going to be part of the fan base that's going to say, well, let's realistically look at the situation and say he can't do that. So whatever he does, he's always going to be in a winning position. And that's the issue with Levy. The guy is like wearing a coat that's like, nothing sticks to him. And that's the way he tries to go into business.
Well, he'll use this current situation as an excuse. He'll say, I was going to buy people, but now I don't have any money. In fact, I have to pay money because I backed out of this thing.
I was going to say, they've got to pay to back out of that. So, and there may even be fines for what they did because they broke Premiership rules.
If he's not going to spend money, are we going to stay coachless then? Just stick with Ryan Mason?
He can't do that because the fans will kill him. He needs to bring in. He needs to bring in a manager that makes him look good. That's number one. There seems to be a vanity. I think he's got a certain degree of vanity. From what I've been for the last few years, what we've seen of Levy is he likes to get his face involved in certain things for no reason whatsoever, and that's the reason why we don't have a director of football. So he's got himself.
I love to get my face involved.
So he's got himself like a head scout like Hitchin, but he doesn't have somebody that's going to tell him, oh, by the way, this is the philosophy of how we're going to play, and this is the type of manager, and this is the type of players that we're going to.
Great job Hitchin does.
That's the point. Hitchin can't do the job.
Fucking
Hitchin can't do his job because he's not allowed to, and plus he can't do the job because he's not qualified to. He's not a director of football at all.
Speak up, mate.
Sorry? He also said he hates the January transfer window.
He definitely did. He said he don't like the January transfer window.
Somebody who hates his job.
That's his job, man. For crying out loud, that's his job. Don't tell me I don't like doing my job, man.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. I hate my job, so I'm with him there. But
yeah, but come on, it's like that's something. You can hate
it. Yeah, you can hate your job, but still do it to the full potential. Not say screw it.
So that's the issue that we've got is that the January transfer window exists, right? Yeah, for one primary reason, and that is if you start the season and some of your players get injured or you're not cutting the mustard, you can then dip into your transfer fund, invest into the second half of the season, and obviously if Hitchin can turn around on a documentary and say I don't like January transfer windows, that means that there's a policy inside the club which says don't waste your time because everything's too expensive, and that fits Levy's mold. He's like that. Why waste money on something? He doesn't want to spend more than he wants to, more than what he considers to be value. And his value is if I spend £1, I want £10 back. Right. So he doesn't say if I spend £5, I get £5 back. He says no, I want to spend £1 and I want to get £10 back, and that's part of his policy. So people turned around in the past and said Levy is a brilliant businessman because he does that £1 to £10 thing. But that was before we got to the final of the Champions League. That's before we had an expectation of, trying to hit the top six properly. Now, if we want to remain in the top six, then we have to act like what the top six do, which means, like what I said earlier, about having a variety of specialist coaches in for the first team. We don't have that. That's also about having a network a scouting network. He doesn't do that either. I mean, how on earth he finds his players? What does he do? Go on Football Manager? I doubt very much if he's clever enough to do that either, because I can find
Go
loads
be
of
very
players.
good at it.
So it seems to me that he's more of a negotiating PR sort of person, and he's using the platform of Spurs being a top club in order for him to negotiate things. But in the past, he could do that because our squad was we get people, we develop them, we sell them on. That was the model we had. But once we cross a certain magic line, is it? Sorry.
So we were like a kind of like a feeder club, basically.
Yeah, 100%. We used to feed to Man United. We used to feed to Real Madrid. We were what they call a deluxe feeder club, where we would give you the nearly finished article. So, you know, so that's why we would charge 60 million, 80 million, 100 million for a player.
The trouble is, like, and you're right. The trouble is not the trouble. He then made the decision that we're no longer going to do that and we're going to compete. But what he's doing, he's not selling our best players, but he's still buying like we're a fucking feeder club. And he's got it all fucked up.
He doesn't know how to do that. He doesn't know how to do it. So that means he either lied, because if you want to say, if he was true to his word that he wants to compete with the top boys, and that's why he's got the stadium, then if he was true to that, then he would have got a director of football. He didn't do that. He would have set aside a budget of 100 million. Why can teams coming out of the championship, you know, invest 100 million into their club? Why can't we, who have already been in the Premier League, been in the top four, been in Champions League, not be able to do investment? This is what the biggest joke I see from a lot of people who turn around and say, oh, he spent money on players. No, he didn't. He sold players and then bought players, which means the net spend is what? A couple of million. That's it.
To me,
that's not investment.
To me, it looks like he's a risk taker, right? Because I put it in chat earlier on. He spent like 22 million on Giannis and 14 on Clinton and Jay, and so on and so forth. He thinks that, okay, these players have potential. Maybe they're gonna blow up. Maybe they're gonna become like Harry Kane, Yunman's son, and we can, later on sell them or keep them.
Yeah, but the thing is, he gambles, right? Yeah, on players that may have injuries consistently. He gambles on players that, when push comes to shove, they'll bottle it. And with that same policy over a decade or 2 decades, then we're going to end up with a squad like we got right now, where push comes to shove, they'll start falling apart. And then we've seen that time and time again this season. It's Poch, on the other hand, he scared the players enough, right? Yeah, to get them to work so hard that they just kept running and running and running to the very last second. And that's how we used to come back in many games. We used to be the team that used to score in the last 10 minutes. Without that type of sort of like discipline and that hard training, which goes completely against what the players that are coming in, what they're capable of doing, he managed to achieve much more than what we expected him to do. I think he just got lucky. Levy was just extremely lucky on that. Maybe he was, maybe he wasn't. Maybe he saw Poch and said, okay, look, he trains his players really hard. If I bring him in here, he can ship these little boys into shape. But we don't know. Levy doesn't come out and speak. All we can judge him on is little bits and pieces of what does come out into the media, and the rest of it is on his actions. And that's all we've got to judge.
Right.
The PR stunt that he did with the Amazon documentary, he's smiling all the time. And he wants to get his face in every shot. And obviously they cut out so many bits and pieces in the documentary where he wasn't around in it. Yep.
On that bombshell, I'm going to bed, but it's been emotional, gentlemen. Good night.
Good night, Jason. Come on, you Spurs.
That's right. Come on, you Tottenham.
Good night, Jason. Thanks for coming on. Yeah, but we're getting to hour 2 here. Hour 2 is rolling along. We've had a lot of viewers tonight, up to 70 plus at some points, which I think is a record. So if you're new to the stream, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe to the channel. But Internesh, if you're ready to talk, or if not, that's cool, man. Now's the time when there's fewer viewers.
I think maybe our brains are like run dry a little bit with the emotions of the last 3-4 days since last Friday.
Yeah, I've been white, man. I've slept more in the last 2 days than I probably have in 2 weeks.
Oh, I've slept
After Monday,
yesterday.
or whenever they backed out, from then until now, it's been like I just couldn't move. Like I was so.
But here's the thing. You guys think that the
drained.
Super League is over, but they said it's suspended. It's not. It's
Yeah.
not like
Well, they'll never be over. They'll try it again in some form or fashion.
It's 100% over. Now they're trying to, as rats trying to get off a sinking ship, they're trying to like get their pound of flesh wherever they can, cover their tracks, cover their ass, because they don't want the repercussions. The repercussions. They want to maintain their status quo. And this is classic tactics from people that are billionaires. It's like we can't do anything wrong, and they all begrudgingly have put out feeble apologies, and that just ain't going to wash with a lot of fans. I think what they've started now can't be stopped. People will now rumble. This will rumble all the way to summer, and when it gets to summer, that's when it's up to the FA, it's up to the Premier League, it's up to UEFA, whether or not there's going to be any changes to what's going to happen. I think they've lost their position. I think they lost their bartering position when it comes to UEFA and the European League.
There's so much work to be done by UEFA to change, because this whole new Swiss format is not like appealing to anybody.
That whole new Champions League is ESL Light, like ESL 2.0.
Yep, there is. But the question is whether Safrin, right? Yeah. Now, the interesting thing here is that Safrin has managed to get his face plastered around the world, and he's gained a lot of respect from a lot of people that didn't even know his name. And from the words that have come out of his mouth, he's endeared himself to the fans around the world. And I think to myself,
I think UEFA's worse. Like the people that run UEFA are worse than these 12-man owners.
Oh, definitely. UEFA and FIFA. Both corporations are more corrupt than the 12 clubs.
The amount of money that these guys are taking in from Champions League is unbelievable.
I think the reform has to start from the very top, from FIFA down.
Exactly.
It can't. Unfortunately, I think it's too late for that to happen because. Wait a second. Is there an echo?
Got a little bit of an echo, Eugene.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. What was I saying? I was saying that I think it's too late for that because all he's done so far is strengthen his position in UEFA, and because so many people respect what he's done and what he said and the stance that he's taken, it prevents anyone from pointing fingers at them. I mean, that bald bloke next to him, right? Yeah, what's his name? Infantino, whatever his name is. He looks like a bloody crook. So I think they've just been very lucky that as bad as they are, they found people that were infinitely worse. Let's face it.
They came out. I think there were a couple of things that got the reaction. One, right, the no relegation part, and two, just the way they did it was like out of nowhere. Late in the evening, their time on a Sunday night, just like boop. Here's this announcement. I think there's this big shock factor that everybody. We got a big echo, my man. You gotta mute yourself right before you talk. Let me see if I can put your echo. I can't edit your mic seconds while you're muted. But there should be an echo cancellation button. You can mute it or turn the volume down on your phone if you're talking on it. That sometimes helps.
Has you got a second stream running?
Maybe the YouTube videos in the background. That could be it too.
Just put that on mute. But you got that in the background.
Yeah, but yeah, these guys, I think it was just the way they did it. They came out of the middle of nowhere and just shocked people so much that they got a huge reaction. I think, and this is why it seems to me, because it seemed really unprepared. Like it was not something that they had really thought through or done, because you think if you're going to come out with this thing, you'd have some like PR videos. You know what I mean? Like you'd make this fancy video that showed all the benefits and da da da. But there was nothing. It was just what 2 statements from Perez, and that was it, right? Like, it just seems like they really weren't. Like, it was just thrown together last minute to prove a point to UEFA to get their way on this new CL format. I think they would have, if nobody would have protested, they would have gone through with it for sure, 100%.
Oh,
I think if it was carefully planned, it wouldn't have got like all this reaction.
Yeah,
I think it would have gotten the reaction. I just don't think it would have been as big as quick. You know what I mean? Like, it's just sent the whole world into a tailspin, right? So.
Yeah, but a lot of that started with Seferin coming out all guns blazing. And because he came out, if he hadn't opened his mouth, right, there would have been, you know, grumblings and unfairness and so forth. But because he came out straight away so vehemently and said the word snakes and liars, everybody suddenly said, hey, you know what? This is what we feel. But now someone said it in a very top position. It makes what you feel, it emboldens you to actually take a step forward. You know, like, for example, the streams we had before on Sunday night, Monday night, when we were talking for 6-7 hours on this, you know, we genuinely had this fear in the pit of our stomach that regardless of how we felt, that these people were going to push this ahead. You know,
Yeah, no,
that was, they were relying on that type of fear in order to push this through. So it took someone like Seferin at the beginning to voice in no uncertain terms exactly what this was. And he said nasty words. I mean, this is a top professional saying this. I was shocked at the words he used. I had to go back and watch him again just to say, in my days, I can't believe this guy's actually aired this. But he didn't pull any punches. And this guy previously, spent 20 years as a lawyer. He knows how to articulate. He knows how to punch. And he did exactly that. So in a way, we, the fans, we're lucky that we had someone like that at the beginning to push it. So that kind of really helped. This league is dead. They can call it suspended or the like, but no one's going to touch it at all.
Yeah, they'd have to do a completely rebranding with somebody else in charge. Anything Perez comes out with now is just going to be immediately shot down from a mile away.
Is it better now, guys?
Brilliant, perfect.
Okay, good.
No, I got an echo there. No.
Yeah, there's still a little bit of an echo.
Oh, I can just do the settings.
Tell you what you do, Lukman. When you speak, unmute yourself, and then when you're not speaking, mute yourself.
Okay, try that.
Okay. When we see you unmute, we all know you want to speak. Got it? Look, guys, in the comments, Coach. Look, we've gone over the Jose thing so many bloody times, right? Yeah, that we're pooped out, bro. We're pooped out. If you look at a lot of the Harris Army, you'll see that we've been backing the manager because he is the manager. We've been respecting the manager because he is the manager. But now he's no longer the manager. We have to call it a day on that one. And good or bad, right or wrong, just like it was with Poch, you know, we just have to let it go now. Why it's happened? We can't be fighting with other fans about this issue because this type of division doesn't do us any favors whatsoever. It lets management. Yeah, it lets the club, you know, get away with all kinds of crap when they see the fans are fighting with each other. You know, and they're probably sitting back and laughing, thinking, "Hey, you know what? Let them fight with each other, and we'll get away scot-free." But we all know that they didn't invest with Poch when he delivered for us. We all know that they brought in a manager that needs money in order for him to make a change. They didn't do that for him. So they set him up to fail. But like I said, some people won't see that. They'll just see the results. They'll see the negativity. They'll see the media constantly bombarding them with, you know, a simple message. He doesn't promote the youth. He's a liar. He only thinks about himself. He doesn't have loyalty. All of these are false statements. When you get true accounts of people that are close to him, they'll tell you the man is very loyal. He loves to promote youth. This guy will take a professional and make him an ultra professional. And top players,
I think Jose got played.
Go ahead, Eugene.
I think Jose got played from day one when they brought him in. right? I think they must have bullshitted him into getting this job and didn't give him what he wanted. I think in January he broke. That's why our form from January became like shit. And the players weren't playing for him. It was that kind of feeling you have, like the players didn't have heart after January because maybe Jose wanted some players in and they just said no or something. And I think it all started, I think, also because of the bail issue.
Yeah, no, look, well, this happened under Poch. Basically, when Poch turned around and said, right, yeah, I want to get rid of some players and I want to do this and I want to do that, and then Levy didn't back him up on it, that gave those players the excuse to say, well, you know, we're protected. We can, we can turn around and say, oh, we don't like you now, and get away with it. And instead of them getting the boot, the manager gets the boot. Once a squad, a useless bunch of players gets that in the taste in their mouth of power, you know, once the shine of Mourinho went off and the media started to push hard, even when he was winning, even when he was at the top of the table, the media was turning around and saying, oh, this is boring football. You know, this is not attacking football. This is parking the bus. But hold on a second. What's Mourinho's style? If you go back over all of his teams, what's his style? His style is stop them from scoring, and then we attack and score. You know, that simple. You know, and it's worked for him. He's won so many cups with that philosophy. You know, it makes sense that that's the way he's going to go forward. But the media likes to be the media, and the fans like to be the fans, and that's what I don't want to go into. I don't want to go into this because it brings out negativity towards other fans which support the same club as us. And I think that's a negative thing. I've had enough of it. I want to.
I agree, man. The inner fighting lately has just been exhausting, to be honest with you.
But there's
people totally twisting my comments. Like there was a video, the first stream I did with David on Monday, when I was talking about UEFA, FIFA, and the EPL, and I was talking about them, and I said that they need to take one up the poop chute. And that, you know, people need to understand that if they give here and do it this, and then those people do here and do it this, the word I was using people there was the UEFA, the FAs, the EPL, and like the people inside those organizations. And people totally twisted that as me talking about the fans.
Yeah.
And completely slandered me all over YouTube, anywhere my face appeared.
Yeah. Look,
and then I would ask them to post
it was a snowball
transcript,
effect.
and they'd say, "Well, you used a word that we could misconstrue, so it's your fault." I'm like, "No, you could have, instead of straw manning me, you could have asked me to clarify my position."
Will, welcome to the Spurs fan base. I'll give you an example. When Neville came out and started his strong defense of the football pyramid and his hate of the proposal for the Super League and his disappointment and disgust with Liverpool and Man United, when he mentioned the word Spurs, he said, I don't really care about them. Right? Now, what that means is that in the media for the last, I don't know how many decades, there's a narrative about Spurs, and the way we get treated in the media is shocking. The things that people can say and get away with compared to if they were trying to say this about another team, or the way that they would say it about another team, it wouldn't happen. But for us, it's open season. So when now, why is that? It's maybe because they know how to stir it up, right? I'll give you an example. If you have a footballer who's extremely good with his skills on the ball, like, for example, a Neymar, and he humiliates a player, he turns him one way, then turns him another way, then turns him a third way, then turns him a fourth way. He's doing it deliberately to demoralize that player so that later on he can just waltz past him. And that's what I think some of the top teams have been doing to Tottenham. The way they speak about them is to demoralize them in that fashion, deliberately. So this narrative is stuck. So what happens as a consequence to our fan base is that they seem to be quick to take this up. They seem to take these type of words and go with it. So when the media turns around and starts bashing Mourinho, all of a sudden parts of our fan base start bashing him too. It's almost like someone sent a memo to them saying, hey guys, it's open season, you can all start having a go at Jose.
You don't understand why they do that. And like even today, like when the We Are Tottenham 2 boys were streaming their protests, there were people in the chat that were making fun of him, mocking him.
Yeah, I saw that. Like there was somebody that came up and said, well, why do you want to let go of 350 million? And I'm thinking that's the same narrative.
Protest. You call this a protest, and why are you guys out there wasting your time? And
you know, this narrative that whenever they stick a figure up like 350 million, people just get fixated on it. Supposing it happened and we did get 350 million, we all know for a fact that out of 350 million,
fans with no football soul.
How much? I want to ask a question. How much did we get in the summer 2019 when we finished second to Liverpool in Champions League? And where did we finish in the league? Fourth, was it, or third?
Fourth.
I
think that was Arsenal.
What happened to all that money?
For 1 point, I think. Was it that season or the season before? I'm not too sure. I think it was the season before when Arsenal got ahead of us by 1 point again. How much money?
We spent on Belly and Lo Celso and
the trick is right, yeah. I think there's a gentleman by the name of Awesome O, yeah. Right. Now he's turned around and said, listen, his background and speciality is to do with financial matters and so forth. And he said, look, this guy, Levy, distracts people. He takes money that we've earned, embezzles it into his pocket, and then sells another narrative to the people. Now that narrative gets used when somebody tries to complain about his tactics of him not spending money. They'll say, oh, but you know, we got the stadium, but you borrowed the money for the stadium. That's a separate financial package compared to the squad and the football side of it. There's documentaries on this in YouTube. You can go and check them out, where they specifically state that the stadium has nothing financially to do with the footballing side at all. And yet people have used that as a narrative to say, hey, look, we spent $1 billion. We can't spend money on the players. So this is all lies. We know now he is a liar. We know now he doesn't care about the fans. He didn't apologize not once. Okay, he's come on and made the narrative to always make himself look good. The Amazon documentary was twisted in such a way that they needed a bad fall guy, and they chose Rose. Rose came up to Mourinho's office, sat down and said, why are you not playing me? He says, well, you know, you're not training hard enough. And he's thinking, what are you talking about? I've seen the other players. They're not training hard enough, but you're picking them. They're shit at training. They're shit well on the pitch. And then what did the fan base say? The fan base said, oh, he's thrown the rest of his team under the bus. Literally the next episode, Kane is sitting there. They're reviewing a game that they lost. And Kane turns around and he says exactly the same thing. And what did the same groups of fan base turned around and said, oh, Kane is brave for saying that. Do you see the difference in this? Look, the reason why Rose is being simply ostracized is because they wanted to bring in reggae from they wanted to bring reggae in. They also wanted to bring Bale in. Now, Bale would be a lot happier if there's a couple of Welsh boys in the team, like Davies, for example. Now, Jose's wise enough in the tooth right, yeah, to go along with whatever Levy wants to do, so long as Levy gives him some money to bring some players in. He doesn't mind sacrificing a player or two, especially if they get into that age and, you know, he's going to say, let them go. But the reality is that we had a player sitting on his ass for a whole season. How the heck can you tell me that this boy who's been in the club for such a long time doesn't have the passion to play for the club? That's bullshit. He does.
Two, why not just pay him his wages and let him go?
Because
if you're not going to use him, just pay his wages and let him go. Right? Like pay out this contract, because what you're doing is there's money that's being used on him. kit man washing his kit, him eating in the cafe, the restaurant at the training ground, and there's still money that's being spent.
He's a straw man that's there, right? Yeah, that you can poke at every now and again, and pretty much look. I told you guys before, right? Yeah, in the stream, that long stream, it took about 4.25 hours for me to say it. That when I first started coming across the community for Spurs, and I used to mention these simple things, probably you probably got the same experience, where when you say it, people will vehemently attack you on it and say, "No, Levy's like a wonderful guy. He's a saint. The sun shines out of his arse and things like that. How dare you? Don't you know this and don't you know that?"
It does shine out of my ass.
There you go. See, he said it. But my point is this: that narrative is half broken, but it won't be completely broken. Okay. There's still a vast section of the fan base that has. Fair enough. They've turned around and they want Enoch and Levy to leave, but they're not going to change the way that they have their views about certain matters because they won't backtrack. They don't want to backtrack. They don't want to turn around and say that they've been part of the problem. Right? If the fan base was strong enough, if we want the team to have balls, then why doesn't the fan base have balls? Right? I used to watch matches, right? Yeah, and I used to see some of the supporters vehemently attack some of the players which are on the team when they used to make a mistake. And these are the same players that had got Tottenham to the top of the league, or to at least second anyway, that year. And I just look at this vehement behavior towards them, especially the language they use, and I used to say, why are you not loyal to your players? Why don't you kind of look at the overall performances? And so that means that there's a fan base that it seems to swallow the crap that is being told by Nevi. I don't know how to describe this properly, but maybe you guys can share your experiences in that matter. I mean, does anybody here think that Levy is a really lovely guy? No. When did you first realize this guy was a complete cunt? Anyone?
For me, no, way before that.
Image rights with the baller.
No, way before that.
I think it was during Redknapp's time.
That's it. He's got. Look, remember when AVB was here, right? AVB, right? Yeah, was the type of coach, right? Yeah, that would. Oh, someone don't want to do an echo mute. Okay, right. When AVB was here, he was the type of coach that would develop a player rather than be like a manager like Jose. He was the opposite. He would develop players into becoming good, right? Where Jose gets the top and then makes them better. AVB would do the opposite. Like, for example, AVB took Bale from the left wing and made him go into the middle of the pitch as a 10, as a shadow striker, right? And then later on, when Tim Sherwood came along, he got Bale to go into the right wing as an inverted winger or as an inverted forward, right? Where he would come in to his left foot and then smash the ball in. He did that against West Ham a couple of times, right? Beautiful goals that we saw there. So these type of managers, these type of coaches develop players to go up. AVB was like that. But the same thing happened to AVB. Some of the players didn't like the way he dealt with them, didn't like the demands that he made on them, didn't like the fact they were sitting on the bench or not in the squad. And therefore, his position became untenable. And he was out quicker than you could imagine. So this type of policy, this type of way of dealing with the fan base.
Sorry, he wanted a shout out from Incheon, Korea. I actually lived in Incheon, by the way, for almost 9 years. Unakdong. Anyway, sorry, Mr. K.
No, it's okay. I'm a bit rambling here because I haven't really put the thoughts together in my head properly in terms of the times and the dates and so forth.
It's a rant, man. It's a rant show, my man. That's what it's for.
For me, it showed that he was. I don't know if it. For me, it showed that he was a disgusting man when he sacked Poch and not allowed him to say goodbye to the players. I mean, this man had built this team from nothing, and it reached.
But I mean, like, there's a comment here. Let me see. I'd say he's a good financial guy. I don't think so. I don't think he's a smart financial business person because he's made some really poor mistakes with players, which take up a huge part. It's a huge expense. It's like 150 million pounds a year, right? That's it's 3 times the gate receipts. So I mean, that's a huge expense. And when you're making that kind of mistakes,
Will, the thing is, right? Yeah, okay, maybe a few mistakes here and there, but when Enoch bought the club, he bought it for 25 million. If he sold it today, would it be worth 25 million? And the answer is no. So from a business point of view, he's taken a product, he's taken something, a service or a product or whatever you want to call it, and he's made it more valuable. And as far as business is concerned, that is the trick in business, in capitalism. But let's face it, is the club worth more than 25 million? If he was to sell it today, how much would he sell it for? And don't forget, they
get a
borrowed
return
$1
on
billion.
investment. But
yeah, but the thing is,
like
the
100
money.
times that.
No, but the thing is, the debt we have, we took a loan to build the stadium. That wasn't out of someone's pocket. That was out of a bank. So whoever buys the club is still going to have to pay that back.
Exactly. When you buy the club, you buy the contracts, you buy the loan.
That's right. So what that means is he's going to. I don't believe he's going to sell the club for anything less than short of 2.5 billion. Right now, that's outrageous, but that's the type of businessman Levy is. Right? It's like, what was it? Tim Sherwood was talking about Woodward and saying, how hard is it to sell? He didn't say those exact words. I'm just paraphrasing. He said, how hard is it for someone who's actually, how hard is it for Manchester United to negotiate for, commercial rights? It's not that difficult because you're Manchester United. So you can't say that Edward Woodward, right? Yet. So Ed Woodward is that much of a financial genius because any Tom, Dick, and Harry can do that. And that's not the same situation with Levy. So some of the fans, they respect Levy because they see the business side of the club having he's taken the club to becoming the 10th richest club in the planet. They don't realize the amount of debt that he's put the club into. 1.17 billion in debt. Plus he took 100 million just this year from the government. He's made success out of borrowing. He's made success out of hard bargaining people like, for example, Modric. Hard bargaining people like, for example, Bale. You want this player, he wants to come to you, you want him, then you have to give us 100 million. That became a record transfer. Right? At the time, that was a sick amount of money. Forget Neymar later on with 200 and 300 whatever million that they bought him for. But the point was, at that time, Levy's always done that. So the same thing happened with Ericsson when they wanted to buy him. And now the fallback is coming back onto the club, where clubs are turning around saying, if we're going to sell a player to you, we're going to play hardball with you. You want the player? 60 million. 35. No, 60. 40. No, 60. And they're playing hardball with Levy. Because I think he's basically soured the milk everywhere. So whoever takes over, it's going to take a change of management in order to readdress this issue. Right now, I think to myself that we're going to get not the top players. We can't. Sabitzer's a good player, but is he a world-class player? No. He's a good player.
Yeah, but they're not going to buy. There's nobody's going to buy this club for £2 billion in this.
Oh, there's no way.
Economy.
I don't see that happening.
A consortium could come in and buy it.
Buy this club.
Maybe not today.
We don't. I can't see our EBITDA multiplier being £2 billion. To be honest with you, because does anybody know what our annual revenue is? It's not anywhere close to that. So I mean, what's the multiplier there for that evaluation? I mean,
yeah, but was Bale really worth 100 million at the time when he got sold?
At the time, yeah, probably.
No, I mean 100 million. Come on now, that was sick amount of money. I mean, now 100 million don't sound like much, but back then it was a lot. When Modric went, what did he go for? 60, 70, something like that. That was a lot of money back then. That was a lot of the most expensive signing I ever saw us do was when we bought Sissoko, 30 million. I was shocked at the time. No, you got to remember at the time, 30 million was a sick amount of money.
Yeah, Sanchez too was a giant signing when we signed him.
It was a sick amount of money. So
it's like 40 million pounds back 3-4 years ago for a defender. That was a lot of money.
I mean, we've got another. We've got another 3 years.
Was Sissoko really worth it though? Was Sissoko really?
But if you look at Lo Celso, right? Yeah, we still got another 4 years of paying back. Was it? I don't know, 5 or 6 million a year for Lo Celso. So some of the deals we've done, right? Yeah, they're not straightforward. Here's the money. They're deals where you give part cash and then the rest of it has to be paid over time or performance related. And therefore, when it comes out in the news, it's like, yeah, we bought him for 40 million. No, we didn't. We bought him for 25 million, but we're paying off the 15 million over 3 years. And that's the type of deals that Levy has done, bringing players in. But when he sells a player, he wants all the money. He wants all the money. So when he gets this money, what happens to that money? And that's what Awesome was saying to us the other day, that this guy is a fraud and he's an embezzler and people don't know because they don't understand the financial matter. They don't understand how he's doing business. They're believing the narrative that he's a brilliant salesman. He's not. He's a shark. And that's what he's good at. He's a shark. That's why when he smiles, everyone gets cold shivers. He's coming. Look, the thing is, right, yeah. Look, I tried to stress the point about some of the fan base being brainwashed with the narrative, and then I had to stop because I realized that they weren't brainwashed. This is how they really are. Some of the fan base is like this, right? So when I got to that conclusion, I said, hold on, stop, because there's no point carrying this argument over. You're not going to convince them because it takes someone on the other side to be reasonable in order for them to be convinced. I mean, after Jose went out, there were so many people patting themselves.
There were people There were people. I'm telling you, Mr. K. There were people today in the We Are Tottenham TV protest stream still defending Daniel Levy, telling us that if we got him out, we would regret it, and this, that, and the other thing. Like,
yeah, I saw that.
People are so dense, man. Like, seriously. And then people call me a plastic fan. Like, seriously.
Well, they said, better the devil you know. Remember that argument? Better the devil you know. You never know who the guy comes in might be worse.
Oh, you're not a Tottenham fan.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, can you blame them? Maybe the next owner is even worse.
No, but now you're believing it.
It doesn't matter. You don't just stay with a crazy girl because she might. The next girl you date might be even crazier. Like, that doesn't.
It's baloney. It's look, these type of narratives, right? Yeah, there's like what I call a whole ecosystem. It's everything's complete in their minds. For everything that you could say, someone's already put words into their mouth that they can use. But what I'm saying to you is, they're not brainwashed. This is how they really are.
Yeah, they're
right.
Just
Not deluded.
delusional.
No, there's almost like, what I used the other day when I said elitism, right? Yeah, amongst some fan base, right? This is what they're really like. They don't like to hear that. People don't like me to say this, but right now I'm here with you guys. You guys have made me feel welcome here, and you got me to open up a little bit. Thank you.
Mr. K is amazing.
I don't want to hear the truth.
Yeah, I mean, people are doing that too, right? Like, because we're foreigners, we have no right to support Tottenham. They seem pretty happy to spend our money in the transfer window.
But the thing is, Will, you did the same mistake I did, which was you thought that if you gave them the facts, that they would then understand.
Yeah.
Well, how many times have you got red in the face trying to give facts? And what good did it do you? The Harris Army turned around to you and said, stop doing it. Like, we love you. You don't need to do this anymore. Don't worry about it. But you and I are the same. We do care. We care about our integrity. So when we say something, we want people to realize our sincerity when we're trying to say something.
I don't want them. They don't have to agree with me, but just let me say my point and don't belittle me over it. And like, it wasn't even the people on stream, like David and Marcelo, if they want to disagree and argue and debate, that's fine. I love to debate. But it's when people go around and create YouTube accounts simply to, like, there's literally the accounts were posting comments all over We Are Tottenham, my page, David's page, Bob's page. The YouTube accounts were less than 3 months old, and they were literally just going around and so they were giving timestamps to the video and completely putting the wrong words in quotations. And it's like,
see, that's what I'm trying to say to you, Will. That's what I'm trying to say to you.
That's
it's not that these people are not misguided. This is their nature. They look friendly enough. Right now, I got into the hating mode of that, but I realized recently that that's not going to work. That's not going to work. I have to try a little bit harder to get with them so that I can understand them better. Because the approach I had before was driving me away, was forcing me away from the fan base. I tried a few years ago to get into the fan base. I wanted a few years ago to open up a YouTube channel. I wanted to get involved with the Facebook and so on, because I've got a lot of creative contents inside my brain. I do a lot of that in my real life. Just like you, for example, your graphic design, for example. Yeah. You know, back in the 80s, I was doing graphic design. So for me, I'm technically minded. You know, I'm a nerd as well, which means that I will go into something to the nth degree to learn it.
Yeah.
You know, and that means that so before I speak, I've already gone through something a million times before I say something. And you know, it's been so when I first came across and I started to say these things, you know, I felt hurt and I felt belittled.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that really bugs me is that they have no spine either. Because, and I think I'm just going to do this from now on. When people twist my words for their own purposes to prove their own point, their own agenda, which is anti-American or whatever agenda they have against me is, I'm just going to tell them to come on my show. Because they won't.
Right now, Brendan's
if you're watching right now, there's still 50, 60 people watching. The link's pinned to the top. If you're one of those people who was slating me, jump on the stream.
Come on here.
Have your say. Be a man.
Have a debate.
Yeah, go ahead.
Brendan has a point. Brendan has a point. He goes, look, facts, right? Yeah, facts hurt feelings, and feelings don't like getting hurt. Now, the crazy thing is that the type of people we talk to, they present pseudo facts back, and then they have a chorus of people around them that repeat these facts. But a lot of these facts are based on a foundation of mistruth.
Yeah, anecdotal assertions.
For example, you know, I'm still hearing I'm still hearing it yesterday, where people turned around and were quoting that Jose is a liar. And I'm thinking, he said one thing friggin' wrong. He said one thing that wasn't true. And you guys are going to jump up and down about it and then brand him completely as a liar? You know, you're branding this guy and you're vehemently attacking his name. I'm sorry, but this guy is so decorated. Like, he didn't magically get those things. He worked bloody hard to get them, right? And it worked. So what happened when he got to Spurs? You know, maybe in a couple of years they'll make a documentary about this. But those type of fans, they look, like I said, they're not brainwashed, they're not delusional. This is their nature. And there's nothing we can do. Honestly, I held out hope that I could convince people of this, but that's not happened. Jump in, mate. Come in. Full me in at SP. There, come on, that's it. What's up, guys?
I always say mince, but I don't know if that's right. I just say mince.
Min SP. Oh, Min SP. Okay, I get it. Yeah. Is there anyone in the chat that needs to jump in?
I can understand the line about Josie, but
yeah, but I don't care. Look, Ronald Kana, I don't care. Right? Xenophobia is just as horrible as racism in my eyes. Right? I don't judge people based on their country of origin.
This is something I wanted to say last stream when people were just absolutely bashing the American sports. See, when you guys say like American sports, the NHL has its history in Canada, right? And in my city, the hockey club, the Edmonton Oilers, do so much community
Wait, are
outreach,
you going to blow that
provide
account?
so many scholarships for youth, look after so many people, from donations to charity drives and so on and so forth. So you can't just bash the sport itself. Because if I do the same thing and I bash the Premier League and bash Tottenham, bash United and so on and so forth, I'm bashing your history. I'm bashing, the work that the clubs do with the community. See,
Guys, be careful. Guys, be careful. This Matt Hayes, which is in the chat, this is not Matt Hayes.
Oh, I know that.
I don't believe it is.
I know where you live well. No, you don't.
Okay, listen. Who's the mod in the chat? Because I'm sorry, I can't take this. This is wrong. This guy needs to piss off.
I'll block him in a second.
Yeah, I'm
I want
sorry.
to play with him for a little bit.
I'm sorry.
I like to play with my...
Whoever it is, if he wants to interact, he can interact. I don't mind banter, but you're going to call yourself by someone else's name? No, mate, you can't be doing that. Well, you can, but not a particular person with this particular face, which is on YouTube. If it was like, for example,
Apparently he knows where I live. So are you going to dox me now then, Jack?
You have to remember that I'm an American.
I'm an American, and if you want to come find me at my house, do so at your own peril. Goodbye, Matty Hayes.
Wait, Eunice. Yeah, didn't you have an exam today or yesterday?
Yes, yesterday. Yeah.
How did it go, G?
I fumbled the bag on one of the questions, completely left it empty, but it was worth 10 marks. But the rest, I hope I did good.
Well done. Look, you know what it is sometimes? It's not necessary to get absolutely everything right unless you're doing mathematics.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine you do an exam in addition and you only get 50% right. That's just, no.
Yeah.
But in everything else in life, you can...
Yeah, the entire exam was a written one, so it's like the time constraint was a big issue.
Yeah. I always turn around to people and say, listen, your revision starts from the first day you start studying. It doesn't happen the lastminute.com. Your revision starts from the very first day you walk into your college or school or university. That's when you start revising. If you do it from that day, you're at the end of the year, it's going to be really easy. Ronick sounds like a fake account.
No, Ronick's not a fake account.
No, Ronick is. You know what? Ronick, I got to big up Ronick.
Yeah, big up Ronick, by the way.
He's a fantastic dude. The guy is absolutely everywhere, and he gives so much support. Always positive in what he says. He never brings out anything negative. He doesn't rubbish anyone. And he's always in the comments as well, which is a fantastic support. Really appreciate these type of users. Comments which come out from him. Love what he says. One day if he gets a microphone and connects it to his computer, it'd be really good to have him online as well, because this is the forum for you, Ronick. Ronick, you need to be coming onto this particular forum. Forget the others. This is the one you need to be on. And who we got today?
DP. What's going on, DP?
The microphone's mute, Brett.
No,
can't hear you. You try to speak, you
might need to select the microphone on your headset.
Yeah. It depends if it's connected by USB.
We can hear it moving. I think it's on it's selected to your phone right now, not your headset.
Yeah. If it's a computer, then you need to go into sound settings. You need to go to sound settings.
Looks like he's on his phone to me.
With the headphones? Wow.
Yeah.
Like Bluetooth, there might be Bluetooth.
Figure it out, and no, you can do it with a dongle on an iPhone. I do it all
Here's
the
the
time.
interesting thing now, as the Spurs channels, which have been formed since this season, right? Yeah, as they get more and more popular, and they start to gather more and more subscriptions and more followers, we're going to start to see a lot more people coming into the chats, which are going to be like trolls, which are going to be
get them all
very
the time.
negative.
I like to toy with my food and then I block them. That's what I do. I play with them for a little bit and then I block them. That's what I do. I enjoy it.
But this is it's going to start to increase a little bit now that notoriety for Spurs fans has gone up. A lot of this week, right? Yeah, started off with amazing
fans
with you. The fans from different clubs leaving their rivalries behind and supporting one another and actually saying things to support one another. In all the time I've been supporting Spurs, it's never happened. So I think there's definitely some change. Kenneth.
That's a great picture. See, there's a troll right there. Bend over, stud. I think it's time for you to go on a diet, mate.
If you're getting laughed at by Daniel Levy, that's like, you know, I'm sorry, but
If they let's have a look now. Is there? Oh no, O'Dea's gone. O'Dea's gone. Yeah, look. Sometimes the banter that we have from Marcelo and from David. When
DP,
people
try
don't
unplugging
know,
your headset and just rocking it without the phone. Some phones, like an iPhone, if you're close to it, you should be good without a headset.
You can then stick it on the hands-free bit, and that will then open up the envelope of the microphone, so it will listen to within about 2 feet. Whereas if you have a microphone set up on your phone, it's normally within about 3 inches. So if you do that, if you put it on hands-free, you'd be fine.
Yep.
You could banter, but banter with
Make sure you open the link too. It's easier to open the link in a brand new Safari window, or sometimes that works better than pulling it up through the YouTube app. So like when you hit the link and it says open and it gives you like 4 different options, at the very bottom it'll say open it up in the iOS something or other, and it'll open it up in Safari rather than inside the YouTube chat. And sometimes that gives you better quality as well. I know, like when I try to join streams through Twitter, it gets all.
Eunice, what we were saying earlier about David
you,
and Marcelo.
I think,
what it is that they've had to. You can imagine that they had to deal with an awful lot of the mainstream Spurs fan base, and in order for them to get their points across, they had to have this passionate, dig your heels in type of mentality. And basically, they have a gut feeling of something. They can't articulate it with necessarily at their fingertips facts, but they passionately believe in their heart what they believe in, and they know it to be true. And so sometimes it comes across that way. Like, for example, today I'm having a bash with Marcelo about Tanguy. You know, I know what they're like, so I'm perfectly fine with that. Some other people that coming into it may not understand. They may think that they're being too negative or too pessimistic or too harsh. But the reality is, in order for them to get to this stage, they had to fight. You know, they had to band together and fight and back each other up, and there was no other way to do it. But as a collective, we need different types of personalities. And hopefully, if you look at yourselves and so forth, and myself, we are those different types of personalities, and that's why we support one another.
Yeah,
so
I like to say Mr. K is the voice of reason.
Oh man, Mr. K is amazing.
You know, I didn't originally plan to come in. I don't like to really stick my face forward in anything. I like to support people from behind the scenes. I don't have the vanity, the power. But one day I wrote something in the comments, and then Brian Ireland, he ripped me to bits. And I thought to myself, that's the cheapest trick in the book, mate. You can get 3 sentences written down, and you can rip them individually, or you could read them as a collective and try to understand the gist of what someone is saying.
Got a little bit of echo there, Diallo.
Right. So now the thing is that is if you've gone to debating school, this is one of the tactics you use. Now, I can debate with people if I want to, but I need to be prepared before I do so. Right?
Hey guys, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Diallo.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
It's good to have you on, man.
Yeah? How's it going?
Not too bad. Diallo, what's on your mind, bro? What's on your mind? Tell us.
Not much. You know, this whole thing with a Super League has been interesting few days, right?
For sure.
Yes, and I've just been thinking recently. Yep, I think somebody said it a while back. I'm looking back to January or even before that when Spurs were first winning games. I won't say looking good, but they were winning games, but winning ugly. I wonder, like right now, if Levy went to Jose Mourinho and asked him to get the team playing more flowing. Yeah, because I know past one point the team wasn't sitting back anymore. Not like they were at the start of the season. But then again, you can't really hire somebody and tell them how to do things. That's silly. But again, that's just me.
Yeah, no, I think Daniel Levy is the kind of person who micromanages all the time. And that's why our club goes, it's such a roller coaster. One or two bad results and he's down in the manager's office telling him what to do, right?
Yeah, I mean, nowadays
he's the kind of guy that's like,
Hey, why are you not playing Gareth Bale? He costs me 200,000 grand a week. Play him now. Play him
Oh yeah,
now.
with Bell. Yeah, so even with Bell, I know a
said
lot of
play him
people
now.
are saying that he did good, but I find that really silly. Watching Bell the first half, he wasn't really doing much. He was just in that right wing. He didn't get back. He didn't really attack. Second half, he got a bit more of a ball. He did something, but I think that's the same thing that's with Bell. He's not fit like Ndombele, like a few other players on the team. They are not fit enough to last a whole game, and you can't really win the league or even go top 4 if your starters cannot last 90 minutes.
No, look, I mean, Gareth Bale's the kind of player. He's like a Ronaldo. He's like a Messi. You can't expect them to, they have class for spark moments like what Gareth Bale did today. You just put him out there and you let him play. You can't expect him to run around like a 22, 23-year-old player on the pitch. If you do, there's no point, right? They're what we call like luxury players, right? It's the guy that gets you that goal in the last minute of the match. But
yeah, you're right about that. Yes, and I think that's the best way to put it. Yeah, because like I said, it's a luxury. And right now where Spurs are right now, they really don't need luxury. They need people who are willing to get down and dirty and get the job done. Enough of these flamboyant kids out there. Get real men in the club. And maybe hopefully and the next coach that comes in can actually have a decent chance.
Yeah. But folks, I think I'm gonna have to call it a day, dude. I'm fighting it.
Hey, you made it to 3 hours. Well done. Well, I really enjoyed this. Thanks.
3 hours is a short one.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what it is. We've been drained the last few weeks, so
man, Monday I streamed for like 12 hours, man.
Well, but then again, this is the best part of life, right? All this.
I woke up
surprises.
at 6:30 p.m. or a.m. Monday morning. Immediately got on a stream at We Are Tottenham TV. And even though I was only on for like maybe 10 minutes, I was in the back room for like 45, right? It's so hard to get on that show. And then as soon as that stream ended, David sends me a message and he's like, hey, I'm going live in 30 minutes. Are you available? I was like, yeah. That was the one that got me in trouble. People like to misquote me. And then got off that one. Went on to, can't remember. Went on to a different one. Went back. Oh, I had the Will and Cody show. And went back on David's show. And then did 6 hours, all the way till what had to have been 4 a.m. here my time.
That's a long day.
I was up for 22 hours.
Yeah, you almost made it to
I almost pulled Mr. K. Mr. K used it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so Will, go ahead, man. You definitely need your rest, and hopefully you don't wake up tomorrow to some new news again. Who knows?
I just want to say,
wait for it.
I just want to say to everyone in chat, hit that like button, subscribe, because I just want to thank Will. Because Will, you've helped me out. I've had you in the back while doing my assignments and my essays, so there's nothing better than it.
No, same. I just listened
Yeah.
I listen to you guys on my run and whatnot. I have my headphones on. I just keep laughing most of the time. But I do enjoy the talks and the discussions though. It's really nice to get a chance to talk to other people who like the sport and have the right passion for it. Yeah, because I know we just had this whole thing with it. Super League. As another person right here living here in the States, the soccer is completely different. And yep, of course they call it soccer first of all, but it's completely different here. The money is ridiculous. Yep, and on the YouTube it shows me Scotch Diallo, but that's essentially out here the sport is money. From the youngest age, you 8. I don't know how much money these parents have to pay just to get their kids playing soccer. But I guess that's why the US, for being so big, still can't make a decent run in the international tournaments.
No, for sure. For sure. I just think that it's just a big. I don't know.
I mean, if you look at it, the United States and Canada have been improving, to be honest, on the international level.
Yeah, they should have a good run this time.
Oh, they definitely have some decent youngsters in there now. Yeah, hopefully the coach will actually use them properly because they have some decent players. So I won't say they can win it, but they can at least have a decent showing.
I think Scarlett's already. He's training with He was training with the first team last week, so that was kind of a good thing. His work ethic, from what's been reported, his work ethic is the same as Kane's, where he works extremely hard, and that's a good thing because really that's the type of person that will develop into a top professional.
Yeah,
if they got that when they're young, that drive to be the best means you have to turn up early, be the last one to leave, and put everything in when you're there. And he's got that as a young man. He's got talent, plus he's got the mental attitude as well. So he's going to go far. And in order for Jose to big him up in so many ways, and for everyone else to big him up in so many ways, means there's definitely a talent that's coming through. It's a bit of a shame what's happened to Parrott. I really thought he was going to come back next season and we're going to have someone up front. That doesn't look like it's going to happen now. Mainly because
what about Jack Clark?
Well, with Parrott, it's got to do with his attitude. With Jack Clark, I think he's now 20 years old. I think he's just hit 20. So I'm not convinced by his. He's got potential, but I'm not convinced he's there yet. He might need another 2 years. He might be one of those guys that we bought where we might end up selling him. We'll still make a profit if Levy's in charge.
Another recruitment mistake, you reckon?
No, it's a deliberate policy. It's a deliberate policy. They will bring in players as cheaply as they can, develop them, loan them out, and then sell them. Kyle Walker-Peters, look at him, for example. When we were crying out for a right back, they sold him.
Yeah, I know that's what I was saying. Just watching a game like this afternoon, I was like, hey, if Kyle Walker-Peters wasn't Spurs, he would have been starting right now, right back. The kid works.
I think that was a Pochettino mistake, is that he didn't loan him out. And the other issue was that Kyle Walker-Peters is not physical enough for me. I mean, if the guy puts on a couple of pounds, goes to the gym and works out, and have that physique like Kieran Trippier and Kyle Walker, he would have worked out.
Well, that's a good point.
Some people just don't have the body though for that, and sometimes bulking up like that can ruin your technical ability.
Yeah, because if you look on the flip side of that, Trent Arnold is not a big player, and same thing for us to what's his name, Reguilon is not the biggest player.
Yeah.
We can't bring him back, Dave Hotspur. Once we sell players like that, they're off on their merry way. Unfortunately,
I don't think Southampton. He's pretty much started for them week in, week out, unless he's injured. So I don't think they'd sell him back to us anyway.
But he's got that one thing that we're missing right now in our squad, and that is that tenacity, that desire to put it all out on the pitch. We can see that every time he plays.
Wasn't he part of the Joybier deal as well? So
that. Oh yeah, I think I heard something about that. yeah, hearing that he was going the other way. But then again, Højbjerg has been a great signing. And in that midfield, I feel bad for him. It feels like he has to do the job of 3 people off him. Yeah, but the guy works. He works, man. Respect. Yeah, see now players like Højbjerg. He's not a known name, but this is a player that I rate really, really high. Yeah, so I get a little annoyed when I hear Spurs fan turn down players and whatnot. Like I put a while back with what's his name, Lingard. Yes, remember in January, yeah, they were joking that Spurs were gonna sign in Mourinho, no, and then everybody was laughing. But then look at Lingard turn up at West Ham. I would take him over, Dele Alli. It's over in Dombele. It's over in Bell because he can actually play for you for 90 minutes, and he will work. He will work like what is it, Kyle Walker-Peters? That same work ethic is there.
All right, folks, I'm gonna go ahead and run this down. Both me, Mr. K, Yunez, and I, we gotta bounce. But Diallo, make sure you come back next time and have a chat too. What part of the world are you from?
Right now I am in California in the US, but originally I was
only
born
like 10 p.m.
in
for
Mali.
you there. So.
It's interesting. Yes, but then again I came from Mali, West Africa, so long way from home. But it's cool.
We usually start around 8 California time.
Yes, and that's when I'm done.
7 or
coaching,
8.
So.
Yeah,
So
7
then I'll
or
probably
8.
catch the stream from now on. Yes, I'll subscribe and keep you guys.
Yeah, make sure you grab a subscribe and join us next time. We usually run from, I guess it's like 7 to 10 California time, so that might be a little early there. Maybe someone like Tottenham Teacher will get brave enough and he'll pick up the 10 p.m. California time to 1 a.m. California time and keep it rolling all the way across.
Yeah,
Use the notification.
Thank you, Will.
Use the notification on full, and because when it comes to live streams, you'll get notified straight
hit
away.
the bell.
when they're live.
Oh yeah, that
Hit the
makes
bell.
it easier. Yeah,
I normally don't hit any
hit the subscribe and hit the bell.
I did, and I did. There we go.
Cool deal, man.
Definitely
Anyway,
want to
this
see you
is a
next
great
time.
show. To be honest with you, I wasn't feeling up for this show. I really wasn't. Like, I was literally close to canceling that, but I didn't. And I'm glad I didn't. I had a lot of fun. It actually cheered me up, made me feel better.
Well, that's good to hear, man. I'm glad you did as well. And like we say, you are one of the more saner fans who can actually talk instead of ranting and getting angry and hate and
I
all
prefer
that.
the word
Yeah, so
rational.
This one was like
Although
a
I've
chill kind of. This was a
Sunday,
chill
though,
kind
I've
of
been
show.
kind of gripey and bitchy, though, to be honest with you.
Well, no, but it's a lot better because I was listening a little bit earlier to the all the podcast with the guys that Marcelo and Mirai saying, oh my god, they hate him and Venom, and I don't know if any of these guys played pro, but the way they judge and look at these players, I'm like, you need to be in my shoes, bro. Just the last thing I'll say here.
No, I mean, they
before it
just got
goes-
strong opinions. I like David and Marcelo a
No, yes, I
ton.
get it, but my point is, yes, I know that I didn't coach at the highest level, but I got to the JC level as a coach, and I have been in seasons in which you know your job, you know what to do, you tell your team what's gonna happen, how it's gonna happen, and if they don't do it, and yet I had a game moment, I was coaching, we were down 4-0. I know my job. I told my kids what to do. I had a parent on the opposite sideline, one of my kids' dad, get up and yell at me, say, coach, do something. I'm like, what do you want me to do? Put on a jersey and get in a U10 game? Yeah, so there's cases in which a coach, you can only do so much. When the whistle blows, you can yell as much as you want, but you ain't gonna make much.
I think that there's two sides to that, because I used to coach a little bit of youth too. I coached my son's team, or either coached or assistant coached all the way up until he was probably U12. So I have like a USSF e-license back when they used to have e-license.
Might need you to get it coaching Spurs now.
Well, no, I would need like an A license. An E license is like
yeah,
the
you gotta
bottom of
go.
the.
You gotta go national. That's gonna take a good while.
Yeah, E license is like the bottom of the rung. That's like a
That's the
2-day
high school
class
coaching.
and $50 or something like that, right? But
Yeah. E license is basically high school and below. Yeah, coaching for fun.
Pretty much
but you were saying
volunteer
that you were
coaches.
coaching your kids' team well. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I think sometimes coaches, especially with kids, I think they treat them like they don't understand. Because there was even a lot of times, like I coached U6 for a while as well, and everybody was like, you can't teach them to do things. You just got to let them kind of run around and just have fun, right? It's just about having fun. But you know what's funny? You want to know a funny thing? Their favorite drill was a rondo.
And that's really hard to see for kids. That's really hard to believe. So that's amazing.
Yeah, but it was their favorite one because it was like keep away.
That's amazing. I can't even get my high school kids to enjoy rondo and possession. So that's amazing.
Yeah, and
you're right,
and then
kids.
we had so not only did other kids are just literally scrimmaging while my kids are doing rondos. And they're also doing the 3-zone drill where you have two people in the middle, one on each side, and they have to try to pass it back and forth. That was their favorite thing. And then we also did I call it foxtail, but we had a penny that was stuck in the back of their shorts, and they have to run around and try to evade it. So my kids were I think we went undefeated that season. And we were blowing teams out like 7-0 because the other kids were all bunched up, whereas my kids were all spread out. And trying to run away from each other. I think kids get things more than people think they do.
No, you're right. But the thing with my issue is, like you said, like whatever you said right now was a great point with that. And my issue and I think it has to do with a US too, with our club system here, especially in the younger age group. It's about money. So all the kids that come out to so-called try out make it, even when they shouldn't be playing comp soccer. So if you are a team that ends up with a team full of kids that should be in rec, and you're facing comp teams every weekend, I mean, I can coach, but I'm gonna need time to coach players to face up against comp players when you're rec and you can barely kick the ball 5 years. Yes, and I know that's not the case with Spurs, but when I hear all the talk in the podcast, I keep hearing 8, 9 players that the fans want to get rid of. So I'm like, okay, if you have all these players you want to get rid of them, why are you even looking for coaches first? Because no coach is going to come in unless they know what they are in for. And
I think it's just a part about Jose and Jose has kind of made that clear to us because there have been just players because I think that while some of these players may have abilities, they don't have the right mentality.
Yeah, and that's big. That is huge.
And that's huge, especially at the professional level. The margin is so small.
Yeah, so what's with kid's name? Like Ravel Morrison, was it? Kid apparently had more skills than, Ronaldo and all these guys, but the wrong mentality. He never made it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it seems like you are getting tired, so I will let you go. And hopefully we'll be able to catch you guys again next time.
Yeah, next game will be going live for sure Sunday night.
Yeah, that should be a fun one.
Possibly Saturday
Yeah, that should
night.
be an interesting one.
If we win Sunday night, Diallo, it's going to be an 8-hour monster stream.
Well, I'm
going to stay up.
I see.
Try to sleep in on Sunday.
Yeah, I see a 1-0 Spurs. Højbjerg is gonna pull a company. It's when he took that ripper. He's gonna get close and just let that ball go. Top corner. You heard it here first.
Oh, wow.
I hope you're right.
That would be a nice win. That would be a nice win. Well, guys, I'm gonna take off. I'll see you guys later. Yeah, take care.
All right, thanks, Diallo. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for the sub. Yep. All right, folks. I'm gonna kick you guys out too. So if you got any final words, now's the time.
Only come on, you Spurs, and we're gonna smash City 4-1.
4-1. That's confidence, Mr. K. I love it.
Come on, you Spurs 2-1. Dele Alli and Steven Bergwijn to score. Bold. It's very bold, I know.
All right. Did you say Daniel Levy's gonna score?
No.
Oh. I'm like half asleep, and I thought you said Daniel Levy's gonna score.
I'm telling you, bro.
Never gets old. Love it.
It will at some point.
Look, I tell you what. Here's a promise. If we win that cup, I will go on camera.
All right, sounds good. That'll work.
Done.
Done deal.
Oh my
and I'll
God.
go 8 hours. Brian Daigle's he's committed to do the whole 8-hour super stream if we
I'll
win.
do-
He said he'll
you know
do it
what?
win or lose.
I'll
which
do
is
the
crazy.
8 hours.
I think
finished
we're going to still go live even if we lose. I just can't. I just don't know if you never know. That one could end up going 8 hours easier than a win, to be honest with you. But we'll see. If we lose, we'll go as long as people want to stay on. But I mean, like I said, I don't. I'll just sit here. You guys can keep going. I don't care. So, but yes, Mr. K has said that if we win, he will reveal his identity.
I just don't know. I don't have. It's like I'm like celery, for example. I don't have that type of. Maybe I got a touch of anxiety as well.
Sure.
Everyone looks younger than me. Everyone looks younger than me. Everyone looks more prettier than me.
I'm not pretty.
You got the type of beard I want to
had a
have.
tooth knocked out when I was in the military. I looked like a Southern hit.
Good night, everyone in the comments. Thank you for
Good night, fellas.
smash the like on the way out.
I'm gonna kick you guys out so I can do my outro.
Okay,
good night. We'll
I'm
see you at least on Sunday. Probably there'll be a stream in between there, maybe during the day Q&A show. All right, Eunice, we'll talk to you later, my man.
I'll see you. Good night.
All right, night. All right, folks, another 3.5 hours stream. Thank you for watching. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Remember, we will be going live Sunday night. And if we win the Caribou Cup, we'll be doing a 8-hour monster stream. I will be streaming live until StreamYard kicks me off. And make sure you guys like, subscribe, share the video to your friends. If you're in a Facebook group, share it in the Facebook group and let them know that they need to subscribe to this channel. More people to join. I mean, you guys have watched it. The people who have been around for a long time, you've seen. Like tonight, man, people are popping up. It would used to start slow and then simmer down, and now they're popping in 10, 12. There's so many people wanting to jump on the stream. I can't even get on it myself. That's how hot this stream is. Share it out to everybody else. Remember, stay strong. Stay Spurs. And we'll see you next time.
1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go now.